Good evening and welcome to Indian Lake High School. I'm Bill Tipple with Rick Reed. We're working in conjunction with Horvath Productions.tv. As you watch the stream tonight, you can also get a chance to watch it later on tonight and on demand as well at any time after this game. We are at Indian Lake High School for a big game in high school football. Bellefontaine is at Indian Lake. Been some great games over the years. Last couple of years, Bellefontaine's had their way, but 3 years ago, Indian Lake won this series at Bellefontaine High. Rick, first of all, good evening.
Good evening, Tips.
Chiefs are 3-1. They had the hiccup in week 2 where Bellbrook took it to them. The Lakers lost badly in week 1 to Anna, but then they've reeled off 3 straight. And, you know, regardless of the records, it's always a big game. You were a guy that coached at Bellefontaine High for, I think, 17 years, so you've been there and done that. And I think this is the game that Indian Lake is always looking forward to, and I have that same feel tonight, just the feel in the stadium.
Yeah, I've said it for a long time. You know, Indian Lake always gives Bellefontaine maybe their best effort of the year, and I think maybe the Indian Lake people would say the same thing. You know, I've been on the sidelines, unfortunately, on quite a few Friday nights over those years where Indian Lake took it to us, took it to the Chiefs. So I expect a great effort by Coach Rapp and these Lakers tonight. I think it's going to be a really good atmosphere. We've got week 1 weather and week 5. Haven't had a raindrop in 2 months. Ready to go.
Yeah, but the field looks great. Thanks to Jeff Corder, the Indian Lake athletic director, for having us out. It's a big night. There's all kinds of media in this press box, but we're making it work. And we got the best view in the house here, just a little bit south of the 50-yard line. We'll go with the Coach Reed keys to victory. I know you always think about this throughout the week. You watch film. You're very, very studious. So what have you come up with?
Well, you know, for Indian Lake, I've always been impressed by their gap scheme running game. They run a lot of trap. They run a lot of counter tray. So they'll take that guard. They'll pull him across. They play with the same sniffer, that H-back that the Chiefs play with. They're going to bring him to the point of attack. At times, they'll bring 3 guys to the point of attack. They'll bring a sniffer, a guard, and the running back if they want to run their quarterback. And Indian Lake does a great job of out-leveraging you. You can't allow them to get downhill because a good run fit will lead to chunk yards. So if you're Indian Lake, you want to win that point of attack early, set the tone, keep Tavian St. Clair and Bellefontaine offense on the sidelines. I think also big for Indian Lake, and they haven't done this quite enough so far this year, is they need to hit big plays in their passing game. I really believe in a few of the Indian Lake players. Drake Cosby, number 1, number 4, Quest Clay, and number 21, Brody Reisinger, I think are 3 of the best players on the field. They've got to find a way to get them the ball downfield. Last year, Indian Lake scores first with a little hitch route to Quest Clay that goes 83 yards for a touchdown to put the Lakers up 7-0. They need a play like that early to set the tone. Also, I think they have to stick some of those same athletes on Braylon Newcomb. Indian Lake's also done a great job over the years of playing to their strengths on defense. Coach Rapp would tell you that he doesn't always adhere to positions in the secondary. He's going to find out early in the season who his best athletes are, and he's going to feel comfortable playing them at corner and safety. I'm anxious tonight to see how they handle Braylon Newcomb. My guess is we'll know in the first few plays how they want to do it. It's going to be 2 people, I can assure you of that. So how do the Chiefs line up Newcomb? Does he line up in the slot? Does he line up in the split? Does he show up in the backfield? And how does Indian Lake react to that? Not even mentioning if he would go in motion. Bellefontaine keys to victory. They got to limit those big plays in the air. That was what set the tone for Indian Lake last year. I don't know if people realize that game was tied 13-13 at the half last year. Now the Chiefs go in, make some adjustments, and end up winning the game 41-19. But it was a dogfight for one half, and part of that was Indian Lake hitting big plays over top the Bellefontaine defense. We talked last week, that's one of the things Ben Logan had success at against the Chiefs, was getting guys downfield. Colin Powell had a decent game with a freshman, Wyatt Predmore, throwing him the football. Chiefs can't allow that to happen early on. They need to just take care of business on offense. I mean, they've got the weapons to do what they need to do it.
We will pause for the national anthem. Going to step away for the open here tonight between the Chiefs and Lakers. Back with the kickoff after this.
Press, apply it tonight. Execute every play for your brother with your best intent, your best mindset. Pressure, apply it tonight. Make them feel it tonight.
Back at Indian Lake High School, with Rick Reed on Build Simple, Michael Horvath, our producer-director, Trevor Woods and Kyle Carper on camera tonight above us here at Indian Lake High. Good night for football. It is pretty warm, especially for mid to late September, but we expect a good one. Rick, you were talking about your keys to victory, then we had to pause for the national anthem. You had a couple for Bellefontaine. I think you might have one or two more.
Well, the last thing I'd say for Bellefontaine is Indian Lake has for many, many years ran an odd and an even defense. They keep you guessing with how they're going to line up. I expect to see a lot of that odd front tonight. I would guess that Coach Rapp's going to say, let's give Bellefontaine a 5-man box, 5.5 hats, and try to get extra help in the secondary to do what they want to do against Braylon Newcomb to try to take him away. If I'm Bellefontaine, I want to run the ball a little bit. They don't have to run the ball a ton, but make them pay with Carter Caudill against those light boxes.
And Rick's talking about defensive linemen and linebackers. I think the lightest box, as he calls it, those players up by the line of scrimmage that maybe I've ever seen in a high school game was 2 weeks ago at Westerville Central at Bellefontaine. Now they had adjusted and brought more guys towards the line of scrimmage as the night went on. But that's what you see when you have such a great quarterback and good receiver. I mean, Braylon Newcomb's a great receiver. Then some other good receivers, stopping the passing game is always priority number one, it seems, for the Chiefs' opponent.
It's what I would do, and it's what I would have done even last year with Chris Fogan in the backfield. As great as he was, if I'm playing the Chiefs, I would not allow Tavian St. Clair to have an easy night. And we've talked about sometimes you decide, do we want to rush Tavian St. Clair? And I said it last week, I didn't think Benjamin Logan should, and they didn't. I also don't think Indian Lake should rush Tavian St. Clair a whole lot, a little bit in spots. But you have to be careful because if you rush him, and even if you get home, you have to tackle him. And he's 6 foot, almost 5, 220 pounds, and you may not like the matchup you have. So I like, as a defense against a guy like him, I like to drop 7 and 8 and try to just be in windows.
That's true. Indian Lake won the toss. They will receive. And I think for Indian Lake to pull off the upset, I think most would say they're the underdog. I think they have to start well. I don't think they want to get behind. And 2 years ago, I got Coach Brown all riled up. Rick might have been around to hear some of these comments, but I asked him if it was just going to be a trap game. Indian Lake struggled a couple of years ago. They only won one game, but they did take the opening possession about 80 yards for a touchdown. Their players are usually really juiced for this game.
Always. There has been so many games over the years that we could talk about where the records were lopsided or the expectations were lopsided, and Indian Lake came out and swung early. Now, there's the majority of the time Bellefontaine's able to withstand that. The series is 36-8 Bellefontaine, so there's a lot of wins there for the Chiefs. But even besides those 8 losses, there's been some close calls.
Yeah. We're underway here in week 5. Craple's kick is a pretty good one, taken by the return man Risinger at the 5, looking to get a seam. Brody Boy's down there in coverage, and Boy causes Risinger to lose his wheels and go down about the 22. Pretty good kick, pretty good coverage.
Yeah, this Chieftain kickoff coverage has been pretty sound.
And I think one of the guys out there is Braylon Newcomb on kickoff coverage, which that says a lot to me. First, he plays quite a few snaps, certainly on offense. He's out there defensively right now, but You used to be the special teams coach. Do you ask the head coach, give me about the best guys?
First kick of the game and first kick of the half, you want your best guys. Otherwise, I bet you don't see Newcomb out there.
Okay. All right.
He's a grinder, and Bellefontaine, is really
Lake will start. That's where they want to mark this at the 22. It's a grass field. It's in good shape. Lights are already on here in week 5. You're watching Horvath Productions.tv. Indian Lake is a spread offense. 3 receivers. They have a tight end to the right and a running back. And they'll run it inside for nothing. Maybe lost yardage. They ran into a brick wall. John Hoffman there, and a different starting front for the Chiefs. Avery Stahl is no longer able to play, so the new defensive end replacing him is John Hoffman, who was a tackle, and then replacing Hoffman is Jordan Hensley. So the tackles are big. Hensley and Maddox Curtis. The ends are Clary and Hoffman.
Stahl did a nice job in there for this matchup, though, in particular. I like this adjustment. Jordan Hensley gives him some size inside, and Johnny Hoffman can run at the defensive end spot.
And he's very quick at the snap. 2nd and 10, no gain. Matt Lillard, the quarterback, wants to pass, takes a deep shot into coverage, and it's caught, but it's out of bounds right by the Chiefs bench on the left side at the 50. So no catch. Incomplete. The catch was made, but the receiver was out of bounds.
There's a lot of good things there. I mean, that's a good throw by Madden Lillard. That's a good catch. That was Reisinger.
Yeah.
A great catch and pretty good coverage. So, there's a lot of good things happening there. It ends up being an incomplete, but I like where Indian Lake's head's at early. I like that vertical shot.
I think the corner was Spencer Stolley, who's got a new number if you follow the Chiefs. He's number 2. Now Lillard rolls left, looking, throws. His receiver makes the catch and gets the first down.
Indian Lake loves that rollout levels pass. They've been doing it for years. They'll have a short, a medium, and a deep. They love getting their quarterback out of the pocket and just wiggling into a window.
Yeah, Reisinger caught it for a 13-yard gain. He gives you a big target for a sophomore. He's a baller.
I'm super impressed with him. He's only got 9 catches on the season. He needs to have 9 tonight.
Yeah, he's good. Now kind of a power shotgun. Cosby gets the give, trying to run wide. Temple there, a host of others. Great team defense. Newcomb finishes it off, but all kinds of Chiefs were there. Aiden Clary, and then Jaden Temple, who's a tackling machine that he is. Maybe a 2-yard gain for Crosby, who runs hard. He's a good player.
Another one of those kind of 3-headed monster with Quest Clay and Brody Reisinger. They will snap the ball at times to Drake Cosby, and they'll snap it to Brody Reisinger. I'm interested to see. That's another little wrinkle that if I'm Indian Lake, I think about snapping to those 2 guys. That's the easiest way you can get the ball in your playmaker's hands is to snap it to them.
Play clock down to 9. Indian Lake comes up to the line, no score. Early first quarter. Here comes Lillard trying to run quarterback. Power, it appears. Hoffman there. And Hoffman makes the tackle. Well, he came from the right defensive end. Came to the other side of the line and made the play.
So when they pull that guard away on that gap scheme, there's a trail defender. It looks like Johnny Hoffman gets underneath the tackle and then just trails it down the line. That's what he's taught to do, to chase that trap play. You saw Carter Caudill plugging hard. He comes. He and Jaden Temple are 2 of the top tacklers in the CBC.
The linebackers this week, same as before. Temple, Caudill, and Caden Folk. 3rd and 7. Here comes Temple on a blitz. Throw into the flat. It's a little high. And it's incomplete. Tough. Those are tough passes for Madden Lillard because he's rolling left and he's a righty.
But agreed, and that we've debated that over the years. That rolling left with a right-hander's tough. That's the kind of play Indian Lake really has to make here early. Interesting decision here. It's probably punt, but there's a little bit of a thought process. They're going to go ahead and punt.
Well, Lillard is the punter, so he could get into short punt formation.
There's no question you're going to see half of
And you play a little cat and mouse game when your quarterback is your punter. Now he'll drop back. Play clock is at 17. Gets the snap. Gets off a liner. And Newcomb watches it roll a couple of times, then gets out of there, and it will be down at the 25. A very line drive punt, but it worked. Kept it away from Newcomb, and the Chiefs have a long field to go. No score here in the first quarter with 9:12 to go.
We've talked about that in other games. I'm sure Coach Rapp is telling his guys we do not want Braylon Newcomb receiving a punt or a kickoff. Now, the punt can be tougher because you got Jaden Temple running at you. You probably want to put that on the hash that you're on. You'd probably like to hit the bottom of the numbers and hope you get a bounce out of bounds.
Chiefs start offensively at their own 25. No score. 9:12 to go.
Indian Lake's heavy into the boundary here. Look for the Chiefs to run to the weak side, to the wide side.
The Chiefs are on the right hash or the far hash. Here they run the pop pass to Newcomb. He's got an opening. He's still loose, and he's still loose. 40, 45, 50. It's a foot race. He's got a blocker in front. That's Clary, who's trying to make a block. Newcomb reverses field, and he'll go. He will go for a 75-yard touchdown. I don't see any flags. He broke a couple of tackles, and vintage Braylon Newcomb has the Chiefs strike first on a 75-yard pop pass from St. Clair to Newcomb.
Chiefs run that trips tight bunch into the boundary. You saw Indian Lake, I said it before the snap, they lined a bunch of guys up because they're worried about Braylon Newcomb. The wide side of the field has one defender and maybe a force player. You run that wingback counter. That's the same play the Chiefs ran last week against Ben Logan. That was a little more of a motion jet, I guess. I think that was pre-snap. It's a foot race at that point. Nobody's beating number 5 in a foot race.
No, they had to tackle him at linebacker or maybe safety depth 5 or 10 yards after he got the ball, and they could not. Then he was gone.
You know, I run out of things, and I hate to say it. He leaves me speechless. He is so unbelievably impressive. I mean, he just is incredible.
He is. 7-0 Chiefs as Crable knocks through the conversion. We'll take a break. Breaks brought to you by Timeouts presented by Easton Water Solutions. 7-0 Chiefs over Indian Lake with 9 minutes to go in the opening quarter on Horvath Productions.
Introducing TGH Law, your local legal experts. With decades of experience, our dedicated team is here to guide you through your legal journey. We specialize in personal injury, family law, and business litigation, offering you tailored solutions and results that matter. At TGH Law, we are not just lawyers, we're your local leaders. Trust TGH Law for your legal needs. Call us today and let us fight for you.
Back at Indian Lake High School, the Chiefs start fast. They make Indian Lake punt after a handful of plays. After 6 plays from scrimmage, and then the Chiefs waste no time. In the very first play from scrimmage, it's actually a pass. In the old days, it might be just a give, like a jet sweep, but it is a pass play where St. Clair gets the snap and just like shovels the ball forward about a foot to Braylon Newcomb, who's going across the line in motion, and then Newcomb and a few blockers do the rest, and it's 7-0 Chiefs.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Rapp, you just scratch your head because Bellefontaine does a great job of coming out with that power to the boundary, and you feel like you have to take it away to respect where they're lined up, but you know that you're weak to the field, and with his wheels, there's just not much you can do.
Reisinger trying to get outside, takes it at his 4, and then is brought down from behind by the Chiefs. I think it was backup linebacker Caleb Overmeyer who made the tackle. Good return by Reisinger, takes it for about 24 yards. Kind of a longer, lankier kick returner. You don't see it in high school where they're kind of that long like that.
Shows you that they're trying to find more ways to get him the football.
So he got down at the 27.
And you hate to say it on the second drive of the game, but Indian Lake's at a little bit of a crossroads. They need to be able to answer. Not necessarily score. They need to put together a drive.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, big hit. Oh, my. Give to Crosby, and he just met Jaden Temple head on, and Temple got the better of it. Loss of maybe, it's either right at the line, maybe a loss of a foot, but it was a collision by the outside linebacker.
Jaden Temple plays football with a spring that is rare for our level of football here at Bellefontaine. He can uncork on you, and there's an example.
Yeah, they'll say Crosby got about a half a yard, a very ouchy half a yard, 2nd and 9. Lillard in shotgun, looking, has good protection. Still looking, trying to get outside, throws downfield, and it's picked off, maybe. Was it caught by Salyer inbounds? They'll say yes. Chieftain football picked up by Jacob Salyer right in front of the Indian Lake bench. He came off his area of the field, and playing that center field at free safety makes the pick right at the 50.
Talks about a key to victory was the Bellefontaine secondary being able to step up and make some plays. We've seen pretty good coverage on Reisinger to the Chieftains sideline, and then Jacob Salyer undercutting a late throw, getting his feet in bounds. That was awful close.
Yeah, we talked about it in the preseason. I think we did the 4-way scrimmage in early August. He has got a knack for safety. I think he's more natural there than he's been at receiver so far.
Well, yeah, he can play the ball in the air.
And he's been fine at receiver, but I think at safety he is excellent when the ball's in the air. Chiefs up 7-0, first turnover of the game. 8:10 to go in the opening quarter. St. Clair wants to pass, has protection, has a man out there, and it's just off the fingertips at the 11 of Salyer. Very good deep ball, and missed it by maybe a foot.
So Chiefs come out in a trips look into the boundary again. You get Drake Cosby in front of Braylon Newcomb, and then a safety over top. They're showing their hand about how they plan to approach Braylon Newcomb.
Connor Evans has to go off the field. Maybe a helmet issue, so the right guard leaves. Bring in a new guard for the Chiefs, at least for one play. 2nd and 10 for Bellefontaine right at midfield.
Looks like Johnny Hoffman in at guard.
Right in front of us. Chiefs lead at 7-0. St. Clair in shotgun with Carter Caudill off to him. They give it to Caudill, who runs outside, makes a man miss, still loose into the secondary, and bulldozing his way down to about the 33 or maybe the 32. What a run. He just broke tackles and had all kinds of 1-2. That's vintage Carter Caudill.
You know, that's a great mid-zone run by Carter Caudill. The Chiefs aren't exactly great at the point of attack, but he finds the lane to cut back.
It's a gain of 17. Down to the 33-yard line. Chiefs in front 7-0 in the first quarter. 7:47 to go. St. Clair looks over at the bench. Maybe a change of the play call. Play clock is at 10. Chiefs have had big plays.
They're seeing this solo one-on-one.
And here comes St. Clair trying to run wide, trying to get the angle. Brought down. Good tackle. Got him by his feet for maybe no gain. Fine open field tackle that time by Indian Lake, and the Chiefs will have a 2nd and 10 to deal with. Tackles made by outside backer Noah Shirk.
Noah Shirk, a 2-year starter for the Lake, has done a good job. Czar Dixon is the same way. They've got some good tacklers on the defense. That they're seeing the same thing. The solo to the field. Tavian St. Clair keeps it, and they're able to make the tackle.
2nd and 9, they'll give him a yard.
So it's just a straight bracket on Newcomb every time.
Here's a play fake. St. Clair maybe wants to pass. He's got a man there. Salyer's open inside the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown! It looked like St. Clair might keep it after the play fake to his running back, and then he kind of faked out the defense. He decided not to run it, and then St. Clair just flipped it over the defense to Salyer, who was wide open around the 18 and took it the rest of the way untouched. The Chiefs are not messing around. Back-to-back scoring drives and some big plays. That one went for 32 yards. A touchdown pass from St. Clair to Salyer.
With the focus on Newcomb, they're going to give a one-on-one every time with Jacob Salyer. Tavian St. Clair does a great job with a pump fake. Jacob Salyer, to his credit, runs into daylight.
Yeah. Kick is up, and the kick is good by Grable. We'll take a break. Timeout's brought to you by Easton Water Solutions. And the Chiefs have struck first for 2 touchdowns. 6:48 to go in the first quarter. Bellefontaine 14, Indian Lake nothing in high school football on HorvathProductions.tv.
This is Trey Daring at Eichholz Daring and Sanford Funeral Homes and Cremation Center. We are committed to providing professional, tailored funeral and cremation services at affordable pricing. We are part of a community, caring individuals, friends, and neighbors who consider it a privilege to serve you in your time of need. We are proud to be locally owned and operated. Our family serving your family since 1903.
Good luck to all area teams!
Well, welcome back to Indian Lake High School. Big CBC crossover game. Bellefontaine leads Indian Lake 14-0 with 6:48 to go in the opening quarter. A couple of big passing plays. Tavian St. Clair to Braylon Newcomb for 75 yards. St. Clair to Jacob Salyer for 32 yards. And the Chiefs lead it 14-0. Looks Crable out for another kickoff. Really no breeze tonight. It is a hot one, and there's a huge crowd for both schools. Chiefs in their road white unis with black pants. Indian Lake with the black on black. Black pants, black jersey for their home unis. Good kickoff by Crable. That's about 4 yards deep. He got into it. It's a touchback. Well done.
Talk about it every week. It's the kickoff team's best friend.
Yeah. Coming up in the postgame, we'll have the Rick Reed, player of the game. I kid the kids at school, at Bellefontaine High School, it's the most coveted award in sports. I don't
It's
know
on
if
the
that's
list.
true, but it sounds good. Tough start for Indian Lake, and not sure that they're playing bad defense. I just think it appears to me that Bellefontaine has hit their stride. They did not play well at all against Bellbrook. They moved the ball, but had so many miscues. But they look like a well-oiled machine right now. And Indian Lake maybe lost it, but they recovered.
And this is the challenge if you're Indian Lake. You know, you go down to 14-0 in a hyped-up game, and it feels a little bit like hopeless. Bellefontaine's able to do stuff with such ease, and it's easy to get frustrated. And how you handle that will dictate how the rest of the game's going to go.
Yeah, I think at this point they do need a touchdown. Got a long ways to go. 2nd and 12 after the loss from their 18. Lillard wants to shoot down deep into double coverage, and the catch is made by Quest Clay right past midfield at the 49. Patrick Stolley was there. Caden Snap was there. 2 defenders, but Clay was just a little better, went up and got it.
Not any different than what Bellefontaine has been able to do to the Lake. Sometimes it's as simple as throw it up. We think our athlete can go up and get the football.
Yeah. I've been impressed by the passing of Madden Lillard, though. You know, he's thrown a couple deep balls that were pinpoint.
Agreed.
Here comes a give to Crosby. He's got a little bit of a lane, then lost his footing. He didn't lose his footing. Look out. He's got quick feet. He runs hard. 2nd and I think we'll call it 4. Indian Lake's got a little bit of giddy up after that long pass play from Lillard to Clay, which covered 34 yards.
It always amazes me what positive momentum can do for a team.
And it can flip on a dime. Play in motion. He gets the give, trying to run wide. He's got a little bit of an opening, and then brought down by Salyer for a first down. If Salyer doesn't get him, look out. Boy, he's dangerous.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tackle by Jacob Salyer.
Yeah.
That's been a point of concern for the Chiefs coming out of the Bellbrook game was their defensive back's ability to come up and make plays. And, Quest Clay is dangerous out there. Was that Clay or Cosby?
No, it was Clay.
Clay on the jet.
Yeah.
That's, he's scary out there.
1st and 10 for Indian Lake at the Bellefontaine 37.
Power look.
Yep, and we got a stoppage by the official on the far sideline.
So Indian Lake is one of those teams that will get under center. I know as a coach I struggled with it, and we talk about it every year of do we want to get under center at times, but if you don't do it a lot, it's hard.
False start on Indian Lake. Now it's 1st and 15.
And the devil's advocate of me would say you get under center for the first time all night and you have a penalty.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can mess with your mojo. Now, I know they do it a little bit more regularly.
1st and 15. 4:57 to go in the opening quarter. The Chiefs lead it, Indian Lake 14-0. Here's a give to the running back who's hit the backfield. Nothing doing. Great play by the defensive lineman, John Hoffman.
Yeah, Johnny's just getting hands on there. He's peeking in the backfield. He's holding his point of attack blocker and making it tough.
Yeah, he took the blocker and pushed it back towards the running back.
Yeah, Johnny's come a really long way from when he first stepped onto Bellefontaine's campus. I mean, he's a guy that has really worked himself into a player.
Yeah, I agree. 2nd and 16. That was a loss of a yard. Lillard in shotgun. Wants to pass. Has time. Throws downfield, and it's over the head of his receiver who wants a flag. Snap was there. Also, there was Clay. Clay thought there should be a penalty. Nobody else really barking for that. 3rd and 16.
Yeah, you'd like this to be 4-down territory just because you're on the other side of the 15. You're down 14-0. Now you don't want 4th and 15. It may lead you to punting. I could see the Lake looking to get half of it here.
Yeah, maybe get 7 or 8 yards.
Look for that flood route they like.
Mm-hmm. Maybe roll out. Lillard will take a straight drop. Looking. Now has pressure coming from Carson Seville. A flag thrown at the backfield, and Lillard brought down for no gain. That is what they would call a coverage sack or a coverage tackle.
And a coverage hold.
Yeah.
That's
the old offensive line coach.
That's the challenge when you have to protect for that long. and the quarterback starts moving around like he has to, the leverage changes on a dime. You're blocking, you're fit right, your hands are right, and then the quarterback moves on you, the defender goes the different direction, and you're stuck with a handful of cloth.
Got a question for you, though, as the old ball coach. You could make it 4th and 16, or you could take the penalty.
I think I take it. But probably 50-50. So you probably think they're punting now.
It is 50-50.
Yeah,
if we look at 10 coaches, I think half would say take the yardage, and the other half would say let's make it 4th and 16.
And you trust your offense from any yardage, whether it's the -1 or it's midfield.
Indian Lake looks like they're going to go. Now they could drop the quarterback back into punt. No, they'll go. 4th and 16. Lillard has time. Starts to break down, throws into coverage, and Brody Boy's there, and he picks it off.
Yeah, he should have knocked it down, and he knows it. And I'm not sure that he did knock it down, but this back judge says he did. It really felt like he caught that ball, and I know within a second of him catching it, he realized he needed to knock it down. They're going to talk about it.
Well, any way you look at it, it's Bellefontaine football. And
you don't see that very often. That's a different argument. Hey, you got the Indian Lake coaches saying, hey, he absolutely picked that thing off.
It's like a short punt because the Chiefs are going to have it at their own 16-yard line. But now with the incompletion, what was called an incompletion anyways, I think it's very debatable, the Chiefs will get it at the 44. So that's about a 25-yard bonus.
I get a kick out of Brody Boy calling the incomplete pass for the officials. I think it worked.
Jamison Clement now in at tight end. A couple tight ends, I would call them, with Clary and Jamison Clement. Caudill coming out a little bit late. Play clock is at 3. The Chiefs need a timeout, and they will get the timeout. Timeout taken by Bellefontaine. We'll take a break as well. 3:31 to go in the first quarter. The Chiefs lead Indian Lake 14-0 here on HorvathProductions.tv. Planning an event? Make it unforgettable with Stocked Event Rentals. From weddings to parties and special events, we've got everything you need to turn your vision into reality. Need seating? We've got chairs and tables. Looking for some fun? Try our yard games like tumbling timbers and yard pong. Don't forget about our stunning frame tents. Perfect for any outdoor gathering. Visit StockedEventRentals.com or call 937-441-3610 to book today. Stocked Event Rentals, where your perfect event starts.
Hey, neighbor.
Chiefs use a timeout, and they had to use that timeout because the play clock was getting down to 0. Maybe 3 seconds to go, and Coach Brown alertly called the timeout. The Chiefs, after the 4th down stoppage, started their own 44. Great field position. 3:31 to go in the opening quarter. The Chiefs lead 14-0. Here's Caudill on a give, and he's brought down from behind. A flag thrown by the umpire late. That's usually in the area of either a hole or maybe a face mask. Timeouts, by the way, in our broadcast brought to you by Easton Water Solutions.
Well, right now, Indian Lake's having a conversation about Braylon Newcomb lining up as a flanker in a tight formation and taking off into a sprint into the open field. The Chiefs weren't going to him there, but you talk about a recipe for disaster, a one-on-one with him with a full head of steam.
1st and 17, I think it was a hold on the Chiefs. You don't see that very often. A 1st and 17, we'll call it, at their own 37. Bellefontaine in front. 14-0 with 3:27 to go in the opening quarter.
You'd mentioned Jamison Clement checking in. I think you're going to see more of Jamison Clement and Aiden Clary on the field at the same time.
A couple of bigger bodies.
Well, and I think it's a nod to how they feel about Aiden Clary in the passing game.
Okay.
Like right here.
And they're looking, throwing, and Newcomb takes a hard hit. He gets up fine, but he took a hard hit from, I believe, Reisinger. A gain of about 8, but he got plastered at his own 45.
And he responded with the 1st down call. I don't think he realizes the stick that he saw makes it 2nd and 9, but I like his spirit.
And he plays with great spunk. 2nd and 9, as he got 8. Got belted, but there have been some hard hits. Chiefs this time with 4 receivers. Indian Lake moving around, and a flag thrown. I think the Chiefs got Indian Lake offsides.
Lake coaches aren't going to like that call. He definitely jumped, but I'm not sure that he crossed.
Well, you got the best view in the house.
I'm right on it.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's your yard line here.
It didn't look like much.
Yeah.
And Indian Lake can't afford to give the Chiefs any free yards.
And they can't afford to give up a touchdown. We saw this 3 years ago. Indian Lake at Bellefontaine jumped out to a 21-0 lead. I'm not saying it's impossible to come back from, but it's difficult.
It's tough.
2:38 to go in the opening quarter. Bellefontaine in front, 14-0. 2nd and 4. St. Clair with a drop, has time, throws, caught by his receiver Salyer, slips out of a tackle, he's loose inside the 40, 30, still on his feet inside the 25, 20, still going, and he's gone for a touchdown. He never went out of bounds. It's a Chieftain touchdown. St. Clair to Salyer again. This one for a 50-yard strike over on the right sideline. Salyer worked out of a tackle around the Indian Lake 20 and did the rest. Wow, he's having a career night. St. Clair to Salyer this time for 50 yards, and the Chiefs lead Indian Lake 20-0 with 2:22 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, once again, you're getting a coverage where they're bracketing Newcomb, so that leaves everybody else with one-on-ones. They hit a little whip route to Salyer where he bends down inside, pivots to the outside like basketball a little bit, and then he just refuses to go down, and Indian Lake doesn't do a good enough job leveraging the football.
Grable's extra point is up, and it is good. We will take another timeout. Boy, it's all Bellefontaine tonight. Chiefs lead at 21-0 over Indian Lake with 2:22 to go in the opening quarter. Timeouts presented by Easton Water here on HorvathProductions.tv.
Hey neighbor, you may be wondering, what makes a community bank special? At Middlefield Bank, it's our people who care about our neighbors and take pride in sharing banking expertise for every stage of life. Because when you're part of the MB community, your goals are our goals, and we're here to help you reach them, from checking and savings accounts to mortgages, loans, and lines of credit. To digital banking tools, MB can be your everything bank. Experience the community bank difference with Middlefield Bank. Learn more at middlefieldbank.bank.
Introducing
Alex Crable out for another kickoff with Rick Reed on Bill Tipple. Michael Horvath, our producer-director here on Horvath Productions, in conjunction with WBCS, one of the WBCS teachers helping out tonight. Mr. Woods, Trevor Woods up above us, and Kyle Carper, a Bellefontaine alum. The whole crew is here, and the Chiefs lead Indian Lake 21-0, 2:22 to go in the opening quarter. And it's quite stunning to me, the way it's just been so one-sided, especially when Bellefontaine has the ball. Kickoff by Crable, taken by Reisinger on the run at the 10, trying to get out of a tackle, hit, and then brought down by a host of Chiefs around the 29. First guy down there was Carson Drake, who kind of bottled things up, and a couple teammates finished the rest of it, and Indian Lake starts at their 29. Indian Lake's moved the ball some. They haven't done a ton offensively, but boy, defensively, they've had no answer.
Yeah, and and there's not a whole lot you can do at times. The Bellefontaine offense with the best player in the country, and Braylon Newcomb, and now tonight Jacob Salyer. I'm not sure there's a whole lot John Rapp and his guys can do. So if you're Indian Lake now, you're already a little bit in the mode of it. You're down 21-0. You just want some positivity.
Well, you love to watch sports, read sports, talk sports. You consume sports. And Paul Jenny had an interesting quote last week in the Bellefontaine Examiner. Here comes Temple on the blitz. Lillard looking. Lillard gets out of it, though. Still on his feet. What a crafty run by the senior, and brought down after he got about 7 or 8. That's a great 8-yard run. My goodness, I thought Temple was going to bury him in the backfield.
Temple had a head of steam and bad intentions. That is a great job of Madden Lillard to get away from some pressure there and pick up a nice gain.
Got 9, 2nd and 1. But Paul Jenny from Benjamin Logan's head coach last week told Matt Hammond from the Bellefontaine Examiner, how do you stop the Bellefontaine attack? He says, I say good luck to you. Those are my football words of advice.
Well, and you just really do have to have the kind of players to do it with. The talent of Tavian St. Clair, I mean, it's been well covered. It is so different. And then when you add in Newcomb, and then now you get a guy like Salyer that's making plays, and he looks like he's playing on a different level. Yeah, there's just only so many things you can do.
4-yard run that time by Crosby for the first down to the 42. Indian Lake coming out with a little spark the last few plays. There's Crosby again, cut down right at the line of scrimmage, maybe got half a yard. John Rapp's son is a two-way starter for Indian Lake. Aaron Rapp, we're going to hear that name a lot the next 3.5 years. Aaron's just a freshman, but he's a big guy, about 220 pounds.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of freshmen come in, especially on a decent football team that Indian Lake is at 3-1, and come in and be a two-way starter. I saw him for the first time at a DJ McDonald wedding, a former Chieftain, and I was immediately taken aback by the kid in the Indian Lake shirt, and then Coach Rapp told me it was his son, and he was only a freshman.
Lillard wants to roll right, has pressure coming from Temple on the backside. Still looking. Oh, what a hit. Caden Folk finished it off. Temple kept flushing it. Lillard gets up. He's okay. He's a tough guy for sure. Temple kind of laid out to get the tackle from behind and pushed Lillard right into Caden Folk, and hello. Wow.
I've not seen that kind of hit out of Caden Folk, but we've talked about him the last few weeks. I feel like he's the guy on this team that still has a lot to give, and as the Chiefs play some of the best teams on their schedule, they need him to be a player.
Well, he can run at that linebacker spot. Well, Chiefs now with a kind of a 4 linebacker look. Lillard wants to run, has pressure, and he's brought down. Folk got him for about a yard loss. Well, you just could never get enough guys on defense that can run. And that's what Bellefontaine has. John Rapp talked about that. That's the last play of the first quarter, but that defense is flying around right now. We'll take a break. After one quarter, Bellefontaine leads Indian Lake 21-0 here on Horvath Productions. Our timeouts presented by Easton Water.
Introducing TGH Law, your local legal experts. With decades of experience, our dedicated team is here to guide you through your legal journey. We specialize in personal injury, family law, and business litigation, offering you tailored solutions and results that matter. At TGH Law, we are not just lawyers, we're your local leaders. Trust TGH Law for your legal needs. Call us today and let us fight for you.
This is Trey Daring at Eichholz Daring and Sanford Funeral Homes and Cremation Center. We are committed to providing professional, tailored funeral and cremation services at affordable pricing. We are part of a community, caring individuals, friends, and neighbors who consider it a privilege to serve you in your time of need. We are proud to be locally owned and operated, our family serving your family since 1903.
Good luck to all area teams!
Welcome back to Indian Lake High as we begin the second quarter. 4th and 9 for the Lakers at their own 43. The Chiefs lead at 21-0 as we move on to quarter number 2. Madden Lillard is the quarterback and the punter. Looks like he might, nope, now he's going to drop back into punt formation at his own 33. Gets the punt away, another liner. Keeps it away from Newcomb inside the 20, inside the 10, and Newcomb picks it up on the hop at the 6. Still loose. Now reverses field and brought down by a host of tacklers around the 15-yard line maybe. Good punt, though, by Lillard. That was a fine punt. He did it just like Coach Reed, Rick Reed next to me would talk about. Keep it away from Newcomb.
Yeah, well, I absolutely love that punt. We talked about it the last time. You kick that thing at the bottom, on the ground, at the bottom, the outside of the numbers. You hope that it goes out of bounds. You don't love seeing Newcomb grab it. That's no fault to Madden Lillard, but great job of leveraging there and getting him to the ground, which is no easy task.
No, three Lakers made the tackle, and the Chiefs have a long field to go. They will start at their own 14-yard line. The Bellefontaine's had 3 possessions. They have 3 touchdowns.
This always feels like the time where you see Bellefontaine try to establish the run game a little bit.
Well, that's what the field position would dictate a little bit, too. Indian Lake backs up their linebackers, some 7 yards off the ball. It's a give to Carter Caudill, who gets a nice seam from his offensive line, goes over the left side by his bench, and he got about maybe 6. He's getting – I've always thought he's a good running back as a freshman. I'd love seeing him come in as a backup when the game was out of hand. I think he's looking better as a running back the last couple games. Looks more decisive to me.
I think the whole run game's getting better. I think the offensive linemen are fitting better. They seem to have a stronger understanding of where those run lanes need to be, where the doubles need to be. And, yeah, Carter's starting to run downhill a little bit.
Time he got 7, 2nd and 3. 11-10 to go in the first half. The Chiefs lead it 21-0. St. Clair in shotgun. Puts Newcomb in motion. They'll run it again. Caudill breaks through a couple of tackles. And a big mass of humanity. It looks like a rugby scrum. He's right by the marker at the 25. I think he got the first down by about a half a yard. And they'll say yes, move the sticks.
Well, the Chiefs have found the way they can get Braylon Newcomb one-on-one. They run that motion again where they're in that tight bunch. He's in the flanker. He widens out. Cosby's the only one that chases him. It looks like 21 Reisinger wants to kind of follow, but that's tough to go all the way out there and leave a bunch of other guys, because if they see you do that, they're going to run a seam with the guys left behind.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a chess match.
Some of that may be letting London see it.
Here's another give to Caudill. He'll burst forward for maybe about 3 or 4. Chiefs are working on the run game. No better person to ask than Rick, who coached the offensive line for years. To me, the biggest improvement on the Bellefontaine team from game 1 or even in August to now is their offensive line.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's been several straight weeks now, so you feel like you're seeing it against multiple opponents, and you feel good about what's happening.
2nd and 6, Indian Lake in that 3-man front. They show a little blitz. Looks like it's another offsides.
They don't give you a whole lot. Not a lot. Flinching's going to get a call tonight. Chiefs come out and empty there, so they were not looking to run on that play.
Defense, 5 yards, 2nd down.
2nd and 1 for Indian Lake. Lakers also have quite a few players that pretty much play the whole game, which that's tough, especially on a sticky night like this.
2nd and short. Sometimes you're thinking shot play here. If you've been wanting to throw the ball downfield, a lot of St. Clair's passes have been short.
That's true.
Might be time to air it out.
2nd and 1. Indian Lake now drops their linebackers. Play pass. St. Clair has plenty of time. Now wants to run. 30. Brought down and a flag thrown way behind the play. Looks like a pretty bad face mask.
Horse collar, I think.
That could have been that too. St. Clair gets up. He looks like he's fine. Kind of an awkward tackle.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Oh, that wasn't the call I thought we were getting there. And I'm not saying it was a horse collar. It just the flag came in right as Tavian was taken awkwardly to the ground. It felt like that kind of call.
Wow, offensive holding.
Chiefs were thinking shot there. Seemed like Tavian had some decent time.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
he did.
Almost like he chose to. He saw a lane.
Yeah, he definitely took off when he didn't quite have to. Now his jersey's untucked after the way he was tackled. You don't see that out of him very much at all. 2nd and 11. Let's give to Caudill, who's got a good lane up the right side into the secondary, bursting through tackles, and he's got a 1st down. Chiefs did a great job walling off the right side of the line, and Caudill goes all the way up to the 41 or 42-yard line, gain of 17. We'll call it 17 yards. I thought the blocking on that play was exceptional.
Absolutely.
He's got to be a lineman's dream too, Rick, because what I always call the wiggle or the shimmy shake, that is not Carter Caudill's game. He gets straight north.
Absolutely. On that play, honestly, I thought maybe if he bounces it out to the numbers, he might have had something. But, yeah, he only knows one direction, downhill.
1st and 10 at the Bellefontaine 41. The Chiefs lead it 21-0. Newcomb in motion. Pop pass. He's trying to get wide. Still on his feet. 40, 45. Tries to jump over a defender and brought down by, I believe, Madden Lillard by the Chieftain bench after he got about 8.
Yeah, Indian Lake, they kind of had him dead to rights there. There was a couple guys trying to get reached by the Chiefs, and they just beat the block and looked like they had a beat on Newcomb, but as Newcomb does, he outruns them.
Yeah, he's got the whole deal. Fast, quick, and strong. He's strong, even though he's not a real big guy.
Limping around a little bit.
2nd and 2 near midfield. St. Clair wants to pass, looks, caught by his receiver, who stuck and got the 1st down by the Chieftain bench on the left side. Down to the 43 was Jacob Salyer, who got about 8. Huge game next week at London for the Chiefs. We'll be there on Horvath Productions. And will be an audio feed only. We'll be there nonetheless to check out, 2 of the heavyweights in the Kenton Trail right from week 1 in league play. But it's still early in this game. Would you ever maybe rest a player, or you got to play on?
Well, you rest a player if there's a reason to, like if someone's dinged up. But, it's still 7 minutes to go in the half, so you're gassed down.
Newcomb is still in there. He looks okay to me. St. Clair has pressure coming, hits his receiver Clary, who's brought down right away.
I really feel like, we talked about Folk, but also Aiden Clary, as the Chiefs start to think about the tall task that is the London Red Raiders, I really feel like number 16, Aiden Clary, is a piece to that puzzle. Getting him the football, he has a talent level that is a little different than some of the other guys on the field.
2nd and 16. St. Clair back in shotgun.
Seam route to Clary right here. The middle of the field's wide open.
Caden Stapp, the running back. Chiefs look over at the bench for maybe a change. Play clock is at 6. That could be a seam route by the tight end. It could be. They'll throw back to Salyer, though, on a quick slant. Makes the catch. And still fighting for extra yards. Oh, that a big collision between two Lakers. Friendly flyer. Everybody gets up and appears okay. And Salyer is right by the marker. I think he's got the first down. And
Glad to see everybody bounce up
yeah, no indication. But to me, he's got it. But maybe a measurement, or maybe a very rare measurement right at the Indian Lake 33-yard line. 6:31 to go in the first half. The Chiefs lead at 21-0. And maybe a timeout here. We'll take a timeout as well. Chiefs in front 21-0, 6:31 to go in the opening half here on Horvath Productions timeouts, thanks to Easton Water Solutions. Planning an event? Make it unforgettable with Stocked Event Rentals. From weddings to parties and special events, we've got everything you need to turn your vision into reality. Need seating? We've got chairs and tables. Looking for some fun? Try our yard games like tumbling timbers and yard pong. Don't forget about our stunning frame tents. Perfect for any outdoor gathering. Visit StockedEventRentals.com or call 937-441-3610 to book today. Stocked Event Rentals, where your perfect event starts. Little stoppage, little measurement, and the Chiefs do have the first down by just maybe half a foot right at the Indian Lake 33. Now, Rick's been calling for the deep pass or the shot play, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't be surprised if you see it right here. Indian Lake 33. It's been a long drive. It started at the Bellefontaine 14.
Well, a lot of what I'm seeing is how they're trying to take away Braylon Newcomb. Leaves the middle of the field open. You see not a single person in the middle of the field. If you can get someone there.
There's Clary who makes the catch, and he is a load to take down. Takes about 4 players, and he's got a first down around the 21. I can tell you've been coaching football a long time because you call Aiden Clary and then they start feeding him the football.
Well, I like the matchup. It's a lot of this stuff is simple. You don't have to be a smart person to coach football. You look out there, you see he's taller, he's stronger, he's faster. You get him the football.
Yeah, you got the playmakers. Then you got the ultimate trigger man right there in Tavian St. Clair. 11-yard gain from St. Clair to Clary. 1st and 10 at the Indian Lake 22. This will be a run by Caudill. He's got a big seam. Breaks out of a tackle. I think that will be a face mask. The umpire, when he throws that flag high into the sky, that's what that usually is. Caudill on the run got about 5, but tack on some more. I'm going to guess it's a personal foul, too, if I had to guess. I don't think it's a 5-yarder. We will see.
Personal foul.
Yeah, there it is.
Black, number 22. Half the distance.
It'll be a first down for the Chiefs. It'll probably be around the 6.5-yard line, maybe the 7. The Chiefs on the verge of going up 28-0. Oh, they're a juggernaut right now. Some really good elite skill players, and then the other thing is they've been able to run the ball effectively enough, and their offensive line has come so far. 1st and goal at the 8. Indian Lake showing a possible blitz. St. Clair on a little razzle-dazzle gives it to Braylon Newcomb. That play went for a touchdown last week against Benjamin Logan, but no such luck tonight on that pop pass, and he is upended for about a 5-yard loss.
And I was watching the point of attack guy, so I didn't quite see it, but sometimes the challenge with that, I call it a wingback counter, even though it's a shovel pass. It's sometimes hard for that guy to get underneath the trap. He kind of almost wants to go wide, and then he runs into unblocked guys.
2nd and goal from the 12, loss of 5 yards. Here's a give to Caudill. He's got a lane inside the 10, 5, still going.
Oh, it's a heck of a run.
And touchdown, Carter Caudill. He just refused to be stopped. A 12-yard touchdown run by the junior two-way player, and the Chiefs continue to pad to their lead. They lead Indian Lake 27-0 with 4:46 to go in the opening half.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost not fair when you've got a quarterback like Tavian St. Clair, a wide receiver like Braylon Newcomb, and then you can put the ball down and just barrel forward with Carter Caudill.
Yeah, he has a lot of what I call a lot of want to. He wants to get in that end zone. Patrick Stolley out to hold it. Brody Boy, the long snapper. It's put back. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:46 to go in the first half. The Chiefs rolling at Indian Lake tonight here on Horvath Productions. Bellefontaine 28, Indian Lake nothing. Another timeout thanks to Easton Water on HorvathProductions.tv.
Hey neighbor, you may be wondering, what makes a community bank special? At Middlefield Bank, it's our people who care about our neighbors and take pride in sharing banking expertise for every stage of life. Because when you're part of the MB community, your goals are our goals, and we're here to help you reach them, from checking and savings accounts to mortgages, loans, and lines of credit to digital banking tools. MB can be your everything bank. Experience the community bank difference with Middlefield Bank. Learn more at middlefieldbank.bank.
Alex Crable out to do another kickoff as the Chiefs lead Indian Lake. 28-0 our score. A little delay here as the officials give everybody a little breather. It's a hot night. I can't imagine playing the whole game. That's going to be tough duty.
Well, honestly, as a coach and a player, it's a little frustrating. You hate to complain about good weather, but you don't expect to be, week 5 still worrying about getting your guys hydrated and things like that. These are supposed to be the most beautiful nights of the year.
Well, we've had some. Last week was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Crable's kick, end over end. It's over by the far sideline, and Reisinger makes the catch at the 4. Now looking to get a block, still loose. He might have something brewing here, and then brought down. Good tackle. Good play by Carson Drake. Boy, he just never gave up on it.
Yeah, I like a lot of things we've seen out of this Chieftain kickoff squad. And there's a lot of guys in there. You mentioned Carson Drake, Carson Svill, who are guys that aren't playing otherwise. I love getting plays out of those cats.
Holding. Return team number 35.
Holding on Indian Lake.
Spot of the flag. First down.
Penalty was called on Colton Cummins for Indian Lake. Who, by the way, he's out there blocking, is the Indian Lake kicker. You don't see that a whole lot of times, but Indian Lake will start back inside their 20, and there's not a lot of things going right. This is tough.
Well, obviously, a lot of tough things. You'd really like to put together a drive here and choke this football a little bit. You don't want to see Tavian St. Clair back on the field with any time left in this half.
That's true. And there's still a ways to go. 4:36 to go. Quest Clay got the give, and really got nothing. Indian Lake starts the series at their 16, maybe got 2 up to the 18. Drake Cosby, running back, Quest Clay, and Brody Reisinger. Three skill guys that Rick thinks are amongst the best of the CBC Mad River.
Well, yeah, I'm high on them, but I think at the end of the day right now, the Bellefontaine defensive front 6 and 7 are controlling this game on that side of the ball.
Yeah. 2nd and 8. Lillard in shotgun. Here comes Temple on a blitz. He's bitten in the backfield. Pressure coming. Clary will finish it off. Temple made the play, so to speak. He's upset he didn't make the tackle, but then his teammate Aiden Clary did make the tackle for a loss of about 3, and it will bring up 3rd and 11. Boy, Temple is a missile on those blitzes.
Yeah, and a lot of those they're doing no show, which means he's not getting a head start. He's got the kind of speed that can go from depth and still get home. And as an offensive lineman, if you don't show me before that you're coming, you a lot of times can sneak through.
Yeah, and he did. He found a crack. Loss of 4. That brings up 3rd and 12. Lillard looking, has some protection, and his receiver makes a nice catch for a first down. That was Bryce Burden. Probably no more for his linebacker play, but he makes maybe the biggest play of the night for Indian Lake. That's a first down all the way up to the 42-yard line.
Indian Lake has always done a good job of motioning a guy across and then sending him at depth in a route. I can remember them doing it with guys like Cole Merritt, and those guys are hard to pick up.
Lillard, deep drop, has pressure again, throws, and it's a little bit low. Tried to hit Risinger right around the 45. Well, if Indian Lake can go down and score, that would be huge for them.
Well, yeah, huge for your mojo. You go into the locker room, makes you feel a little better about what's happened, a little more eager to come back out for the second half.
3:05 to go in the first half. The Chiefs lead it 20. It says 34-0, but that's not correct. It's 28-0 Chiefs. Lillard, deep drop, maybe a screen. He has to bounce it in there, incomplete. Had all kinds of pressure. 3rd and 10. I want to ask you about the Chiefs' defensive front. You said a few plays ago they're playing great, and you're used to looking at defenses because you coached offensive line. What do you like about this Chieftain front four?
Well, they're winning the snap. They're in the backfield. They're playing with hands. They're controlling a not very big Indian Lake line. I felt like watching on film, I thought that their interior guys may struggle with the Bellefontaine size. I think with Hoffman and Clary, it's the athleticism and doing a good job of getting them hands on and just kind of working to the football, squeezing to the football.
A little stoppage here.
There's not a whole lot of room for error for Indian Lake in any regard.
3rd and 10. Well, I like the Chiefs' defense. It's prototypical, so to speak. 2 huge tackles in Curtis, who's over 300 pounds. Hensley's about 280. So they are just so difficult to move. And then the 2 ends that can really run.
Yeah, no doubt. And this is the kind of game they thrive in.
3rd and 10. Lillard in shotgun again. Has to pass. Has time. Throws downfield into double coverage, and it's broken up. Nice play made defensively by Caden Snap. That's one of his finest plays of the year. That was outstanding.
Yeah, and several good things we've seen out of this Chieftain secondary. That's the kind of stuff they're going to need as they get into the meat of their schedule.
And Risinger's not an easy cover. It's a baller. And Snap closed on it and was able to break it up against a taller receiver. Indian Lake, 4th and 10, you would think punt. But Lillard is in shotgun.
Definite punt.
And now he'll drop back. Standing at his 32. Gets the left foot into it. Keeps it away from Newcomb again. Hits around the 22 and goes out of bounds. That's just like Rick drew it up. Do not punt it to him. We'll take a break. 2:47 to go in the first half. The Chiefs lead Indian Lake 28-0 here on HorvathProductions.tv. Every time out, thanks to Easton Water.
Introducing TGH Law, your local legal experts. With decades of experience, our dedicated team is here to guide you through your legal journey. We specialize in personal injury, family law, and business litigation, offering you tailored solutions and results that matter. At TGH Law, we are not just lawyers, we're your local leaders. Trust TGH Law for your legal needs. Call us today and let us fight for you.
Chiefs start right around their own 20 after an excellent punt by Madden Lillard, who's really the Iron Man. He doesn't leave the field much at all for Indian Lake. The senior quarterback, defensive back, Hunter as well. The Chiefs start at their own 20, up 28-0, 2:47 to go in the first half. St. Clair gives it off to Caudill, who's got a seam, breaks through a couple of tackles and got about 5. How about a guy like Carter Caudill? I've talked about the Indian Lake players that pretty much play the whole game, but Carter Caudill, he's got to be wired for contact. You're an inside runner and the middle linebacker. That's old school football right there, Rick.
Yeah, he's one of the hardest nosed players in recent memory that I can think of, and he's really been that way since the day he stepped on campus.
2nd and 5. St. Clair now in the backfield by himself. Wants to pass. Blitz coming, throws. Caught by his receiver who's tackled. But a first down pitch and catch from St. Clair to Salyer. Boy, I tell you what, it's very encouraging to me, the chemistry that I'm seeing the last couple of games. Last week against Benjamin Logan, this week here at Indian Lake with St. Clair to Salyer. You get 2 receivers and a guy that can run the ball pretty well, good luck.
Yeah, the Chiefs are going to keep going to that solo side. You see over here, once again, trips to the field, 4 defenders, and a one-on-one to the boundary.
1st and 10 after a 7-yard completion.
I would expect a double move at some point if they need it.
There goes Caudill, hitting the backfield. Not much doing, and then stood up by a wall of Indian Lake defenders for really maybe a yard gain. Looking at the clock a factor, 1:35 to go in the half, and the Chiefs lead at 28-0. Bellefontaine has 2 timeouts left.
Sayers hit him with that hitch a few times. They'd be ripe for a double move to the solo side.
Beyond the top of the screen. Yeah, he catches it again.
I thought he was doing it there.
He only got about 5 or 6, but I know what you're talking about. It's
the only thing about that is you got to protect it. And, and over the years, guys love double moves and always would talk to me about it. And I say, well, that's fine, but make sure we got a few extra hats in there to protect that thing.
Block it up, yeah. 3rd and 4 now for the Chiefs at their own 38-yard line. St. Clair has pressure coming. The ball's deflected, and it's picked off. There's a rare interception. The defender is still loose down the sidelines, and he'll go for a touchdown. And St. Clair is on the sidelines, gingerly tending to maybe his leg.
Well, I don't know what that was. Obviously every eye in the stadium's looking at Tavian St. Clair right now. He hobbled off immediately. My thought is he was stepped on. That's what I'm hoping. The way he hobbled looked like a guy that was maybe stepped on.
Looked like he was going for the tackle. There were so many bodies around, I couldn't see what happened.
I'm not sure he wasn't just in the way of the interception.
And a good job by the defender, too. I know all the eyes are on the health of number 9, but the interceptor I thought was going to get tackled right away, but he had intentions to go to the goal line. First and 10 first and goal at the 4 for Indian Lake.
He's standing up, walking. That's a good sign. And walking pretty normally. Ooh, yeah, you don't like to see that. You don't like to see that for anybody. You certainly don't like to see that for number 9. Makes everybody in the stadium happy to see him walking around. Now the Chieftain defense needs to step up. And if you're the Indian Lake offense, you say, hey, we got a chance here to feel good about ourselves going into the half.
A power look. 3 running backs behind. They'll throw the fade. The running back over to the receiver there who makes the catch. Touchdown. So Indian Lake shows power run and then throws to the left side for the touchdown from Lillard to Quest Clay.
Great play call. Absolutely great. I love any time a team gets into a power look and keeps it simple. You got a kid like Quest Clay who is one of the better players on the field. Give him a chance to make a play. Great pass by Madden Lillard.
Yeah, and not bad defense. Caden Stamp, I think, was the defender. I thought he did a decent job, but Clay is outstanding. 4-yard touchdown pass, and Indian Lake with some real momentum right now.
Yeah, it's still a tall mountain to climb, but you feel a heck of a lot better about it.
Indian Lake getting their extra point team out there. Cummins, the kicker, is ready. Gets it. Lillard puts it down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. So Indian Lake makes the interception pay. A 4-yard touchdown drive. And Indian Lake on the board. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Bellefontaine leads Indian Lake 28-7. Timeouts thanks to East and Water here on HorvathProductions.tv.
This is Trey Daring at Eichholz Daring and Sanford Funeral Homes and Cremation Center. We are committed to providing professional, tailored funeral and cremation services at affordable pricing. We are part of a community, caring individuals, friends, and neighbors who consider it a privilege to serve you in your time of need. We are proud to be locally owned and operated. Our family serving your family since 1903.
Good luck to all area teams!
Back at Indian Lake High School, how things can quickly change in this sport. Indian Lake scores after the interception by Tavian St. Clair. It was a tip ball. Good team defense. Indian Lake tipped it, and then one of the, not sure what player it was, a linebacker or safety intercepted it and returned it all the way to the 4. The next play from scrimmage, Lillard hits Quest Clay for the touchdown pass, and Indian Lake on the board. 40 seconds to go in the half. The Chiefs lead at 28-7, and Tavian St. Clair got a little dinged up on the interception as well.
Yeah, I think based upon what we're seeing on the sidelines, you're going to see young freshman Rain St. Clair. There's an onside.
Yeah. And Indian Lake thinks they have it. And they surprised the Chiefs.
It surprised me. It's a good call regardless.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the flip side is if you don't have it, you're giving them the ball at midfield.
Yeah.
It looked like the Chiefs recovered it to me.
That's what I thought, too.
I don't know who that point man is there in the middle, but he was on the spot. Now, whether he secured it or not, I don't know.
Well, still no indication.
That's Chiefs ball.
Yeah, they might have been Carson Drake. No, it's
I guess I don't understand what's happening here, Tips.
Yeah.
I've never seen two dudes be allowed to lay here like this. I've never seen this. In almost 4 decades of football, I've never seen refs let two people lay and hold the football.
still ongoing. There are 4 officials still talking about it.
There's a first time for everything.
Well, whatever they call, half the stadium won't be hit.
I don't know what you can call at this point.
A jump ball? Like basketball's a jump ball.
Well, the top.
It was Patrick Stolley who was on the bottom of the pile.
Well, regardless, a good job by Patrick Stolley, because that is, everyone in the stadium, I think, was caught off guard.
Well, he's up out of the pile. They're still talking about it. And Indian Lake's players make the call for us because they really celebrate. But finally, the official says Indian Lake ball at the Bellefontaine 49.
It didn't matter what they called there, they're wrong, because I have never seen a play allowed to be that way. I mean, it's comical, but if this was a really close ball game, it may not be so comical.
Yeah, game clock is still at 40. How things have changed. Chiefs need to come up with a stop.
Well, yeah, now if you're Indian Lake, that does change things. I mean, yeah, it's still a tall mountain to climb, but you got 40 seconds here. If you could put one in the end zone, you take off sprinting to the locker room.
Plus, Indian Lake gets the ball to start the third quarter.
And Tavian St. Clair's dinged.
I'm just as confused as everybody else up here.
Just a bizarre interaction.
Indian Lake will take a timeout. We will keep it right here. We'll have the Rick Reed player of the game later on tonight. We're just in the second quarter, late second quarter, 40 seconds to go. And
I wish we knew who the player was that had that interception for the Lake, because the one thing I noticed, and I kind of was late to see it, he got his hands up. I think the guy that knocked it down picked it off. It felt like it kind of stayed in the same neighborhood. But you talk about turning a game on a dime.
I thought it was 12, but the closest number would be Bryce Burton, who's 17.
Well, I kind of thought 17 too, but I think the fella that had the ball was a big D lineman. It seemed like just in his demeanor as he was running. Would have 70-something.
All right. Well, Indian Lake has it. They have to burn their timeout just to kind of get sorted through after the onside kick. 40 seconds to go in the half. And the Chiefs up 28-7. Lillard wants to pass, has pressure, throws, has his receiver there, Quest Clay, who's loose, plays into the secondary, still loose, and brought down. Good tackle, actually, to get him. I thought he may have been gone. Brought down at the 8-yard line on a deep crosser.
Quest Clay has a heck of a change of pace. He is a really talented runner. His ability to stop and start is impressive.
He was brought down, I'll say it's the 11. Timeout Indian Lake, 32 seconds to go in the half. And Bellefontaine in front 28-7, timeout Indian Lake. We'll keep it right here. It's amazing how this, you've watched thousands of football hours of tape, and the way this changed on a dime here just about 5 plays ago was amazing to me.
Well, yeah, we talked about it earlier. Momentum's a heck of a thing. I really like Indian Lake attacking the middle of the field there, too. Getting Quest Clay crossing zones, starting outside, moving in. We talked about it before the game. If they can get their playmakers the ball in space, that's a place that they can find an advantage on the Chiefs like they did that last play.
They have it. They chipped away and chipped away.
You're right about Indian Lake's 3 really good players. I don't know that you could feed the ball to them enough. Now, there's only one football, obviously, but top guy is Quest Clay, but then Reisinger's a heck of a, kind of jump ball, bigger receiver, and Drake Cosby, I like a running back. 1st and 10 at the Chiefs' 11.
Lakers with still a timeout. The clock's not a big problem. They should have time for 4 downs.
And they'll try to maybe get it to Clay again. Pass over on the side. Immediate tackle made by Braylon Newcomb.
They don't love that.
Clay got about 3.
Yeah, you're not really looking to burn that and burn your timeout for a 3-yard gain.
I'm going to say he got about 5. 3rd timeout for Indian Lake. That's their final one. 24 seconds to go in the half, and Bellefontaine in front 28-7.
So you're thinking 3 plays here if you're Indian Lake. Field goal, I don't imagine that a field goal's in play. You just got to make sure you're killing the clock each time, that you're putting the ball towards the end zone, towards the out of bounds. You don't want to sack. You don't want to tackle inbound. You want to make sure you get 3 good shots at this end zone.
I see Tavian St. Clair, by the way, Rick, all the way on the last guy on the right. He's walking around.
A little bit of a limp,
Yeah,
but up.
right.
You know, and what Tavian does the rest of the game, maybe depending on what we see here.
Yeah. 2nd and 5 for Indian Lake at the Bellefontaine 6. Give this kind of power look. 2 running backs with Lillard. He throws to the end zone, the fade, and it's broken up beautifully by the Chieftain defender. I think it was Caden Snap as they tried to hit Risinger on a fade to the left. Incomplete. That brings up 3rd down.
Similar concept to what they did when they were under center. It's a power look so they can get max protect, and they're basically just saying we're going to throw a jump ball back shoulder to one of our best players.
Game clock is at 20. And now it's 3rd down. It's a huge play.
Back in this 2-back. It's a little tougher to get guys out of routes. I'd be looking for a guy out of the backfield.
And Lillard pivots right, looking, throws towards the end zone, and was it caught or not? Yes! Oh, wow!
I'll be honest with you, I didn't think the touchdown was in play there. I was wondering if he was in bounds or not. I didn't realize that was across the goal line. Tough angle from here to see.
Touchdown to Quest Clay, and he used every blade of grass, all 53 1/3 yards, right by the far right pylon. 6-yard touchdown pass from Lillard to Clay. I'm like you, Rick. I was questioning if he would even get it in bounds. The official's right there. Nobody really complaining, and heck of a catch. If the field's 52 yards wide, it doesn't work.
Well, yeah, I think we're so far away we may have missed a heck of a play from Lillard to Clay.
Cummins, the extra point kick is up, and it is good. 14 seconds to go. The Indian Lake fans have something to clap about here late in the first half. The Chiefs lead it 28-14. And the other thing that was key, well, Rick talked about it because it took literally about 90 seconds to sort out, maybe 2 minutes, was the onside kick. First, a stunning play call by John Rapp and his staff to do the onside kick in the first half.
Yeah, it's great timing. I think it's just the mojo of the game. You know, obviously looking back, it does make sense that you would do it there, but maybe we'd kind of been lulled to sleep with Bellefontaine dominating early. But, yeah, caught the Chiefs off guard. Now, Patrick Solly, I thought, did a great job of trying to cover it up. And, you know, the situation ensued there it'll be talked about for a while. Possibly at officials' clinics as how not to handle a tough decision.
It took like probably 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
What I'd like to ask him is, what are you waiting on? Are you hoping that one will wrestle it from the other?
I don't know.
I've
never seen it before. Well, Chiefs looking for maybe a shorter kick.
Well, I think you'll see Bellefontaine take a knee here, unless something, you know, some kind of extreme field position.
And Caden Polk watches it hit, and it will bound into the end zone. The Chiefs have started their own 20. 14 seconds to go in the half. And
of course, we're all looking to see what quarterback's trotting on the field. Looks like it's young Rain St. Clair. Probably especially ensures that you're looking at a knee down. You know, we've talked about Rain St. Clair a couple times when he's gotten in late. You know, hopefully Tavian St. Clair is totally fine. But if Rain would have to play the rest of the game because of whatever has happened here, Bellefontaine still got a very capable quarterback.
Yeah, you said it's impressive. Here I would just guess a run. The freshman is in there, gets the snap, gives it off to his running back. He got about 5, and that's it. I think it was Carter Caudill. It was, and that will be the end of the first half. But the last couple minutes are really the biggest minutes. St. Clair appears to get dinged on a tip ball interception. And Indian Lake does not have a whole lot of yards in the first half, but they've made the most of it. A 4-yard scoring drive after the interception return, and then about a 50-yard drive after the successful onside kick. So 28-14, I ask Rick the same thing every week. Here we are at the half. Bellefontaine leads Indian Lake. What both head coaches are thinking and what they'll talk about during the halftime break as we get to watch the bands.
Well, I think the biggest thing is Bellefontaine defensively, I think, feels really good about the Indian Lake run game and their ability to handle that. I thought that was good throughout, and that really didn't change as Indian Lake caught fire late in the half. What Indian Lake started to do, which was one of their keys to victory, was they found a way to get the ball downfield to their studs, and they, no different than Bellefontaine, can do that to Indian Lake. Indian Lake can do it back to Bellefontaine. They've got 3 or 4 guys that can go downfield and catch the ball, and I think Madden Lillard was impressive on some of those downfield stuff. That's what got him back into the game. If you're Bellefontaine, you felt like you had everything under control, and then a little bit of a fluky interception. I mean, a defensive tip. Those aren't ones you expect. That leads, and then an injury, and then an onside. So I don't know that you really identify anything. You say, hey, offensively we need to change. Defensively, you got a couple things. Now you're going in talking to your secondary, saying, hey, we're going to see this the rest of the half. I don't think, if I'm Indian Lake, I don't go back to the ground a whole lot. You give it to Cosby at times as a change of pace, but you're going to see an onslaught of those weapons downfield. And you say Chiefs are getting the ball, Indian Lake getting the ball.
Let me correct myself. I said earlier Indian Lake will get the ball to start the third quarter. That's not true. Indian Lake got the ball to start the game. The Chiefs will get the ball to start the second half.
So that's big, and that's with a team that is bleeding a little bit. If you're Bellefontaine, you've bled away this momentum. You're going in, gather yourself. No matter who's your quarterback, whether it's Tavian St. Clair or Rain St. Clair, you have a very capable person drive you down the field. You've shown that you can do some nice things. You want to march the length of the field and score and kind of erase all that's just happened in these last 15, 20 minutes.
Halftime, we'll get a chance to watch both bands. Bellefontaine's band first, dressed for the occasion with their shorts on this hot, hot night here on September 20th. Then we'll watch the Indian Lake band as well. It's a full house tonight here, watching alongside us on HorvathProductions.tv. Halftime score, Bellefontaine 28, Indian Lake 14. Now it's the band show tonight. We welcome you back to Indian Lake High School here on HorvathProductions.tv. Thanks to both bands tonight to entertain the crowd, Bellefontaine and Indian Lake. They were both at Bellefontaine High last Saturday for the band spectacular. A full house here tonight and a wild football game if you're just joining us. The Chiefs lead at 28-14, and I would say, I think all of us would agree, regardless of what side of the stand you're on, a deceptive score because Bellefontaine was dominating the football game give them credit for that, and give Indian Lake credit for really making the most out of the last couple minutes of the half. That's when the game drastically changed. Tavian St. Clair got intercepted on a tip ball. Indian Lake returned it all the way to the 4-yard line. One play later, Madden Lillard, the senior quarterback, hit senior wide receiver Quest Clay for the 4-yard touchdown pass. Point after touchdown was good. Then Indian Lake pulled off maybe the surprising play of the game, and that was an onside kick. Then a few plays later, they scored again. And so they scored 14 points in a matter of about maybe 90 seconds on the game clock. And when St. Clair was picked off, he got injured. And when Bellefontaine finally got the ball back with about 20 seconds to go in the half, Rain St. Clair was in there to kind of kill the clock. So the injury to Tavian St. Clair is front and center right now. He is out there moving around.
He's not going to play in the second half. You're going to see Rain St. Clair. He's warming up right now. He will be the Chieftain quarterback in the second half. We talked about him a few different times and a little bit tonight. You know, he is only a freshman, but not all freshmen are created equal. And Rain was given an opportunity over the summer where Tavian went to Elite 8. So Rain was the Chieftain quarterback at the Dublin 7-on-7, which is a competition, the Ohio State 7-on-7, a competition where he saw a lot of good football teams, and he led the Chiefs to a 4-2 record on that day with a big win over Dublin Kaufman. I sat there and watched that day, and I came away saying, of the 6 schools that the Chiefs played, Rain St. Clair was the best quarterback we saw. So I have no doubt that Rain St. Clair has the talent to do the job he's got to do here in the second half. Now he's doing it for the first time, so it won't be easy. If you're Indian Lake, obviously you're saying, hey, you know, you feel bad that Tavian St. Clair can't play, but certainly they're going to see that they're facing a freshman, all kinds of momentum heading into halftime. You're going to see possibly a whole different ball game in the second half.
As St. Clair's walking around, Tavian St. Clair, he's walking kind of gingerly. And Rick had the breaking news, the up-to-date news that he's done for the night, which is too bad. I wonder what this means long-term. First, the Chiefs need to, from their perspective, get the victory tonight. But Indian Lake has impressed me with their determination and making the most of they're very opportunistic. I guess that would be the word of the night, Indian Lake is.
Well, it's really, and that was in a very tight window. Bellefontaine was extremely dominant. If you look at the stats, Bellefontaine had 209 passing yards, 81 rushing. Indian Lake's 127 passing and 25 rushing. So you're talking 290 to 153, 152 yards of offense. But that little turn of events with a pick, a touchdown, an onside, and another touchdown makes those stats not look nearly as important. And, I don't know that I've ever seen a game turn the way this one did, and I don't have a good feel for what we're about to see here in the second half. I think all outcomes are in play.
Yeah, that's fair. I would agree with that, so especially with the quarterback situation, and that's no knock on Rain St. Clair. You've watched him, you know him, you're an expert on this stuff, but he's under the lights, so to speak, for the first time. Now he does come out there with a 2-touchdown lead.
So if you're Bellefontaine, you now have to turn on a dime a little bit your game plan. Not that you can't do everything you were going to do with Tavian St. Clair and do it with Rain, but you have to put him in the best situation to be successful. So I think you're going to see more Carter Caudill than you were going to see had Tavian St. Clair been out there, which the good news for the Chiefs is he's proven. I mean, his stat line on the day so far is 11 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown. So he's averaging, 7 yards a carry. That'll do just fine. Now, he's going to see a little different box than what his brother would have seen. Braylon Newcomb's still Braylon Newcomb. The Chiefs have showed that they can get Braylon Newcomb the ball in a variety of ways. He may get some of those quick little pop passes and handoffs a little more than the downfield stuff. How Indian Lake adjusts defensively will be very interesting to me. It's tough to change your game plan midstream, especially when you go into the half and you don't really know who's coming back out at quarterback.
Bellefontaine will get the ball first, and we saw this last week. Now, a much different game, a different score. But Benjamin Loden kicked the ball to Braylon Newcomb. He caught it at the 1-yard line, and 99 yards later, he's in the end zone. And so that's the first thing for Indian Lake. I'm going to guess they will just kick it right down the middle of the field on a ground ball, so to speak.
I will be shocked if Indian Lake kicks the ball to Braylon Newcomb.
He is standing at the goal line. Chiefs will have their medal tested tonight. Indian Lake kept fighting, and then they got the break they needed with the interception. And the onside kick, which was the most bizarre onside kick I've ever seen in any football game, Pee-wee to pros, in my life. It took about 90 seconds to 2 minutes to see who had the football. And both teams had the football, but the officials had to make a call, and they gave it to Indian Lake.
And those are tough calls. I mean, we talked about how they handled it being the bizarre part, but when you have a dual possession in football, it is tough. What I've never seen is referees allow it to just kind of simmer the way they did. Generally, it's a pull people apart, and whoever's lucky enough to wrestle it away before they do that is given possession.
Still not sure what Indian Lake player intercepted the ball. Rick thinks maybe Franklin Kinney.
That's my best guess. I felt like it was a 70-some number, and I felt like it was a big fella. So I think that kind of eliminated number 17, Bryce Burton.
Yeah.
It seemed like a D lineman running there with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that Tavian St. Clair, and we talked about it off the air, he got dinged a little bit there on the sack where we kind of cringed and thought, I don't know if it was a sack or maybe he pulls it down and gains a yard or so. He got kind of tackled funny there. We thought it was a horse collar, ended up being an offensive holding. I guess he was limping a little bit after that play. I don't know exactly what his diagnosis is. But if you're Bellefontaine, you got to play it safe with him. And you got to do that with any kid, but especially a kid with the future he has.
That's true. Kickoff is a liner, and it goes into the end zone. Yeah, low liner away from Newcomb over on the left side by the near side pylon. That's textbook. Bellefontaine will have to start at the 20. Indian Lake's been pretty good in special teams. They've had some good punts. And I'm sure that that they have the momentum right now.
Well, like I said, it'll be interesting to see here. Does Indian Lake stay with the same game plan? The bracketing they've done to Braylon Newcomb makes them weaker in the box. And it'd be interesting to see how they adjust. But I don't know how they view Rain St. Clair because they just wouldn't know a whole lot about him. I'm sure the fact that his last name's St. Clair gives them pause.
Well, now a four-man front, first of all.
Totally different look. Here we go.
Yeah. That's a give to the running back who gets a nice seam into the secondary and goes close to the first down around the 28.
So they're showing their hand early. They're going to play a more traditional even front. They're going to play everybody straight up. So now if you're Bellefontaine, you say, okay, now you're going to give Braylon Newcomb just kind of a standard approach, and you know Rain St. Clair can throw it. So it'll be interesting to see how the Chiefs make them pay for that.
Well, they used some deception, faked it to Newcomb on the motion, and then brought Caudill on a run.
Safety creeping over top of Newcomb there. So Indian Lake's in a one high, which they were in a free type look earlier on where it was man, and then the safety was over top of Newcomb playing him in double coverage. Now they're playing kind of even across. The safety's pretending to be in the middle of the field, but it seems like he wants to sneak over to Newcomb.
St. Clair quickly to the line. Play clock's at 23. 3rd and 3 after a 1-yard loss by Carter Caudill. And Indian Lake much more committed to stop the run with the backup quarterback in. Chiefs up 28-14. 10:55 to go in the third quarter here at Indian Lake High. St. Clair wants to pass. This time throws. Caught by his receiver who's got a first down and more. Just a very simple out route by Jacob Salyer on the far side on the left sideline. Easy pitch and catch for St. Clair. What I liked is he got rid of it quickly. It was on time and on target, and a big first down gainer all the way to the 43, a gain of 16 yards.
The exact same hitch route that his older brother's thrown. Salyer came into the half, 6 catches, 109 yards. That's his 7th catch on the night, 2 touchdowns. Game plan's the same.
1st and 10. Indian Lake, though, with more down linemen. Chiefs put a man in motion. It is Newcomb. Looks to reverse field. Newcomb still trying to reverse field on his feet, pinballing off of defenders, and maybe got 2 yards. Very exciting 2 yards. He can reverse field like nobody's business. And 2nd and 8. That was an exciting 2-yard play.
You know, it's untraditional, and normally he's able to put his foot in the dirt and turn back against the grain with absolutely no blocking and make people pay for it. But Indian Lake flies to the football pretty well. I think that's one of the strengths of their team is their linebackers, their defensive ends. They do a good job of tackling.
2nd and 8. Chiefs up 28-14. It's a give to Caudill. Gets walled off pretty well on the right side. He's into the secondary. Still loose, and he's got a first down. Ran that play in the first half. Very well blocked. First down Chiefs all the way to the 37-yard line.
The Chiefs have fit that mid zone. They call that mid zone. That's just simple, kind of straight ahead stuff. Carter Caudill's aiming point is the outside hip of the guard, and he's looking for a cut-up lane. He does a great job of getting north and south.
Well, he does. They'll mark it at the 36. A gain of 19, and again, very well blocked on the right side. There goes Caudill again, and he'll slither forward for about 4 between guard and tackle. Well, they say only about 2.
Same concept there, except it's split zone. You see Aiden Clary. They block zone up front. Aiden Clary comes across and traps the end man on the line of scrimmage. Carter Caudill's looking for the cutback anytime they give that look.
2nd and 7. Big possession in this game to start the second half. 9:05 to go in the third. The Chiefs in front 28-14. Play pass. Rain St. Clair has time, throws it into coverage. Salyer there fighting for the football, makes the catch, touchdown, and I would guess a defensive penalty. Touchdown by Salyer. What a job to come back for the football.
What a game by Jacob Salyer. We've been talking all season about finding other people other than Braylon Newcomb in that passing game. A rainbow pass, NFL film style by Rain St. Clair. Coverage is close, definitely some shoving going on. Jacob Salyer fights through the DPI and makes a heck of a touchdown catch.
Jacob Salyer with a hat trick, Rick. That's his 3rd touchdown catch.
Sounds like a player of the game type situation,
well,
Tips.
You get the vote. And now there's the defensive holding was the call.
This crew struggled a little bit with some of these logistics.
A tough situation for the defender, too. They're one-on-one. They got to cover the whole field, and Salyer knew where the ball was.
Yeah, no doubt. Those are tough. We talk about that all the time, that in high school football, if you just throw the ball 40, 50 yards downfield, you either get DPI or a touchdown half the time.
And the extra point by Crable is up and good. That's a huge drive by the Bellefontaine Chiefs. It's their biggest drive of the season to be. First, they lost their star player, at least for tonight, in Tavian St. Clair. And then the younger brother of Rain comes in, the freshman quarterback, and A-OK.
Well, you think about how momentum climbed on the Chiefs there at the end of the half. Had they come out and stalled out and Indian Lake captured control of this game, anything could have happened. Instead, Bellefontaine goes to the ground, leans on Carter Caudill for chunk yardage, and then puts a knife in their neck with a big throw downfield with young Rain St. Clair.
Yep, St. Clair to Salyer. Chiefs getting ready for a kickoff. Boy, this stadium, both sides. We're here on the Indian Lake side, but the Bellefontaine side, it's like dead quiet right now. It's silence.
Well, it's always tough when you've been given hope, and not that anything is there's still a lot of football to be played, but the Indian Lake faithful and the Indian Lake team and the sidelines comes out of the half thinking, hey, we've got a golden opportunity in front of us, and then kind of same old.
Crable out for another kick. The Chiefs lead at 35-14. Crable will kick from the left hash. Been busy. A little bit more of a breeze right now. Gets away a nice kick. And it will go about a yard deep for the touchback.
Rain St. Clair, 3 of 3, 50 yards and a touchdown on the first real drive of his high school career.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Indian Lake certainly geared up to take away that Chieftain running attack. Now, even with a 7-man box, Bellefontaine was able to lean on him some with that ground game. Credit to Bellefontaine's offensive line, Carter Caudill, running to set up the big pass by Rain St. Clair.
Getting word from Brian Lorette, the stats man from the Bellefontaine Examiner, does a great job. It was Bryce Burden that picked off the pass.
There you go.
Number 17 for the Lakers.
The eyes can be deceptive. These refs have learned that tonight.
And here's a run inside. Nice run by Indian Lake. Drake Cosby right up the gut.
You got to be frustrated if you're Indian Lake for this flag. Late in the play, behind the play. I don't know anything about whether it was a good call or not, but if I'm Indian Lake and John Rapp, I'm saying you're throwing this flag when he's 10 yards into the secondary.
Yeah, that's rough. Wow. Well, that's a momentum killer.
It was just such a late flag for it to be where it was at.
Indian Lake went forward, but they'll end up going backwards after the penalty. First and
Indian Lake, they have to put together a drive here. You're down 3 scores, which is never easy. You can't now. You're back up against it in your own territory. You got to get some success here.
first and 19.
I love that motion.
On a rollout, caught by his receiver. Nice sure tackle by Caden Folk, got about 5. Getting word across the way. Tavian St. Clair has a wrap on his left leg below his knee, whatever that would mean. It might be what you said, Rick, when you watched it live. Maybe somebody stepped on his leg.
Well, you hope it's something, like that isn't as serious.
2nd and 14 after the 5-yard gain. Here comes a blitz. Lillard trying to get away from that blitz, reverses field. Chiefs look like they have him still on his feet and brought down by Braylon Newcomb. Boy, he's a solid, very steady, sharp tackler.
That's a heck of a run by Madden Lillard. It ends up not amounting to much, but
Chiefs in front 35-14. Next week's the big one at London.
Yeah, it's going to be such an interesting game, and obviously we've got a lot of football here to play, but, the history has become fairly rich between the Chiefs and the Red Raiders, and it'll be another chapter in that rivalry. 2 teams that won't resemble much of each other.
No. 3rd and 13. Lillard in shotgun. Blitz coming from Folk. Lillard has to step up, and he's brought down by John Hoffman. Well, the Chiefs have really dialed up some blitzes.
Yeah, Bellefontaine does a good job of sending their fast guys off the edge. Jaden Temple, Caden Folk, honestly, those are tough on offensive linemen because, again, Caden Folk wasn't really showing pre-snap because that tackle needs to identify that he's a threat and slide out to him. And the fact that he doesn't puts it all on the quarterback, which the quarterback sees him, so he steps up, and Johnny Hoffman's defeated his block, and he's there to pick up the sack.
4th and a bunch. Well, the holding penalty was literally a drive.
Yeah, it was
killer.
brutal, and, I don't want to, it could have been a blatant hold, but just the way he threw it and behind the play is frustrating if you're Indian Lake.
Another great job by Lillard on the punt. It's like Rick Reed with the 9-iron when Rick's out playing golf.
Hey, I didn't invent the concept of don't punt it to the best player on the field. John Rapp knows that all too well as well.
Now you're maybe giving up a few yards of depth.
It's better than 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the lesser of evils.
It's smart.
Yeah, you don't want that kid touching the ball in space.
And Lillard kicks it out on the far side by the Chieftain bench at the 48 on the Indian Lake side. So Bellefontain's got tremendous field position after the 3 and out. But they are keeping it away from Newcomb. That's where those great skilled players like Newcomb are so dangerous in high school football. The kickoff and the punt return game.
It's just such an advantage to be able to snap the ball at the plus 48 as opposed to deep in your own territory.
Rain St. Clair in shotgun for his second series. 6:13 to go in the third. The Chiefs in front, 35-14. Carter Caudill hit hard, gets a little bit of a push. Boy, what a run. What a finish. The last 3 yards are, again, just that effort.
Yeah, Indian Lakes fit really well there. Looked like they had good support pursuit with their linebackers, and Carter Caudill just will not go down easily.
2nd and 4. Just got to love the way Carter Caudill plays the game. He's got a motor. 2nd and 4. The Chiefs at the Indian Lake 42. Here's a pop pass to Newcomb. Looking to get wide. Gets a couple of blocks in the corner. Still loose, and he's got a first down. Good job by his receivers and linemen trying to get that edge sealed, and he takes that pass in motion. Used to call it a sweep, but it is a pass from Rain St. Clair to Newcomb, and it goes all the way to the 33 for another first down.
Yeah, it's just a tough play to stop. You got a head of steam. Big fan of that play when I was calling plays, and then I like to look to something off of it. Get Newcomb, all eyes on him, and then throw behind it to some sort of like post route to replace that safety that's coming down.
5:10 to go in the third. The Chiefs in front, 35-14.
There's the fake and the counter.
Yeah, there it is to Caudill, who's loose into the secondary. Caudill still rumbling inside the 20 to the 17. That's very well done. I think that's one of my favorite play calls.
It is my favorite play in football. When things are going well with the jet, then you fake the jet counter tray.
Because the defense is looking to run wide towards the sideline.
The only thing I always tell people about that play, you got to be careful because the jet motion a lot of times will trigger a forced defender that was on the jet guy to come. You got to stay tight because that guy is going to be a free hitter off the edge.
Rain St. Clair out there directing it again, gives it to Carter Caudill. Caudill getting a little bit of a seam again, does a great job to hold on to the ball. Indian Lake running the old strip drill, could not pull it away, and Caudill always leaning. He's just got a great lean. He runs low, and he's close to another first down. It is another first down. First and goal for the Chiefs at the Indian Lake, maybe 8-yard line. See where they're going to mark this.
Bellefontain's doing a great job of keeping Rain St. Clair comfortable with all these runs.
And blocking extremely well.
Yeah, this Bellefontaine offensive line's coming along.
Yeah, he might be the Rick Reed player of the game. If I don't get a vote, but I got to get some consideration. There goes Caudill again, trying to run wide left. He's got a lane, still on his feet. 5, bouncing towards the pylon. Touchdown! Carter Caudill swings this one outside, a rare outside the tackle run. Goes over by the Bellefontaine bench for an 8-yard touchdown run. What a response by Jason Brown and the Chiefs this half.
You mentioned the offensive line. I locked into him there. Number 55, Jesse Castle, was the point of attack guy, and he absolutely had Indian Lake in the phone booth. Carter Caudill saw it, bounced it outside, like you said, rare for him to look for space. He'll find some nice ground out there.
Carter Caudill having a night. Chiefs in front, 41-14. Stolly holds it, Crable puts it up, and it's good. 42-14 our score, 3:55 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break. Chiefs lead it, 42-14 here at Indian Lake. Timeouts thanks to Easton Water on HorvathProductions.tv. Planning an event? Make it unforgettable with Stocked Event Rentals. From weddings to parties and special events, we've got everything you need to turn your vision into reality. Need seating? We've got chairs and tables. Looking for some fun? Try our yard games like tumbling timbers and yard pong. Don't forget about our stunning frame tents. Perfect for any outdoor gathering. Visit StockedEventRentals.com or call 937-441-3610 to book today. Stocked Event Rentals, where your perfect event starts. We welcome you back to Indian Lake. What a game tonight, and all kinds of big moments. 3:55 to go in the third quarter. Bellefontaine leads Indian Lake 42-14. Thanks to both athletic directors, Jeff Corder from Indian Lake, Jason Kelton from Bellefontaine High, and the Chiefs in front by 4 touchdowns, but it's not been literally a walk in the park. First of all, Tavian St. Clair's not in there playing right now. He got hurt late in the first half.
Well, my man in the stripes continues to have a rough night. He called for a running clock, 42-14. I'm not the greatest math guy, but that is 28, and we are going to disregard that request, and this will be play on as normal.
It has to be 30 or more, and after
Correct.
halftime. After halftime. Rabel's kick, pretty good one. Reisinger makes the catch at the 4. Over on the right hash, looking to run wide, still loose, and then runs into a Chief, and still finally brought down around the 38-yard line. Having a heck of a run back. Patrick Stolle started to make the tackle, got a little bit of help from Blake Loomis. Not a bad kick, but just a very spirited return by Reisinger.
Well, yeah, we talked about it at the beginning of the game. Reisinger's definitely one of those guys that can flip it on in a moment's notice.
Bryce Burton was the guy that got things going for Indian Lake with the interception. And then returned it all the way to the 4-yard line late in the second quarter. Next play, touchdown pass to Quest Clay after the onside kick. Surprising onside kick. A few plays later, Indian Lake trimmed it to 28-14. But since then, it's been Bellefontaine this quarter. Drake Cosby for about 5 yards, slams it over the right side. He runs very hard. And
it's a nice ISO look there. Indian Lake employs a variety of different run schemes.
Jaden Temple, little ding, maybe holding his hand. He'll go off the field, and Caleb Overmeyer is in.
Caleb Overmen.
Overmen, excuse me. You're right.
You're becoming the Harry Carey of Logan County sports tips. I'll keep you straight.
You are. Overmen, yes, Overmen. Indian Lake on the next play got about 4, 3rd and 1.
You know, you see Indian Lake kind of, this is a little bit of a concession of, okay, this game is now out of reach, and we would like to kind of control the clock here, get downhill a little bit, get some positivity going.
3rd and 2. It's Quest Clay trying to run outside. Oh, big. Oh, he would refuse to go down, still loose, and finally brought down by a couple of Chiefs. Brody Boyd finishes him off. He's an imitation guy of Braylon Newcomb. Just when you think you have him, you don't.
Yeah, Quest Clay and Drake Cosby both have, some of what Newcomb has, a lot of what Newcomb has. They may not quite be Newcomb, but they are in any other situation. If Braylon Newcomb wasn't out here, we'd be talking a lot about their talent.
He's just so hard to tackle. First down run all the way to the 41-yard line. Another, maybe a double move. Clary giving chase, still giving chase. Clary reaches out and makes the tackle. Boy, what effort. He was relentless on that play, Rick, for the sack.
He's got some speed.
Yeah, because Lillard's got speed. He chased him down all the way across the field.
Well, Lillard was, he had the misfortune of trying to decide if he was going to throw it or run it, and that allowed Clary to hunt him down. Yeah, Clary, Folk, and CC and Temple all kind of have that hunter's mentality.
Yeah. And Folk, Clary, and Temple can fly on defense. A little bit of a broken play. Ball's still loose.
Well, they may sit and watch him for a while.
I think
they're not going to do that this time.
No, I think Lillard got it.
Okay. I didn't know if that was an every time thing or not. Thought they might all huddle up and let the kids figure it out.
He had it, but he lost a couple yards. Didn't look like a bad snap. He just didn't reel it in his shotgun. Loss of 2, 3rd and 15. Indian Lake not in a big hurry, and now again they're down by 4 touchdowns. Lillard wants to pass. Throws downfield into a double team. Chiefs there.
It's a great ball.
It's caught. Caught by Reisinger inside the 20 down to the 12.
Here we go again.
And there's a flag.
Yeah, don't really know who that would be on.
2 flags.
The kids were just wrestling for the ball. I didn't see anything out of either guy, the Lake or Bellefontaine, that would say unsportsmanlike, other than just, hey, we saw you guys not be able to decide who had it, so I want to grab it.
Well, I tell you what, Madden Lillard has been very impressive tonight, and so is his receivers. In high school, maybe more than college or pro, you just throw it out there and tell the guy to go get it. But you just look at the numbers as you watch the play unfold from up here. He's throwing it into defenders, but his receiver just adjusts the ball, makes a great play.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense. Dead ball, personal foul, offense. They all set.
I fail to understand that, but not that it matters. It's offsetting. I saw 2 guys just fighting for the football, and you don't know what the refs are going to say. But as far as Madden Lillard, I have been impressed with his deep ball, and I'm kind of surprised. Coming into the game, he only had 300 and some yards passing. I didn't expect him to be very good at the deep ball. I like what he does downfield. If I'm Indian Lake moving forward, I'm featuring that in my offense.
He's good. He's a gamer.
Here it comes again.
Yeah, another throw to the end zone. Chiefs are there defensively. Good job by Caden Snap to kind of close down the field. Reisinger wants a defensive pass interference, but no such luck as tried to throw the fade to the left corner.
Well, it was great coverage. There was no DPI there. That was Caden Snap squeezing him. That's what you're teaching him to do. You want to get hip to hip, and you want to squeeze him and give him very little grass to catch that football inbounds.
Not a bad ball. There was no way for an interception.
And that's definitely a size disadvantage. Caden Snap's probably 5'9", and Reisinger 6'2" in the program.
Here's a give to the running back. Hit. A good explosion by the running back. And once he got the give, got inside the 10 to about the 7. Was that Cosby, I think?
The thing you like about this, if you're Indian Lake, is, you spent most of the third quarter kind of reeling. The scoreboard is what it is, but you've kind of slowed down the whole mojo, and now you're controlling the clock.
3rd and 4. Chiefs up 42-14. 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lillard puts his man in motion. That's Burton. Lillard looking to pass. Throws, and it's broken up. Good coverage that time by Folk. And maybe Boy. Yes. 4th and 4 for the Lakers now. They're obviously going to go. Game clock is at 19 seconds to go in the third. The Chiefs in front 42-14. Octavian St. Clair standing right at midfield. Again, he's the headliner. Really, people all around the country would be interested in this. He has not played this half.
Well, yeah, I'm sure social media has been aware of him being dinged.
Yes. And here comes Lillard wanting to run. Gets away from the tackle, throws, and incomplete. It was going to be enough for the first down around the 1. The Chiefs hold on 4th down, and they take over at their own 6-yard line with 13 seconds, make it 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. Huge defensive stand.
Yeah, we talked about at halftime, one of the things that the Chiefs had to be talking about was letting guys get open in space. It feels like they fixed those problems in the second half, doing a good job of covering in multiple situations.
Chiefs start not very good field position, just outside their own 5.
This is a lot. We talked about the advantage of your plus 48. Well, this is your minus 6-yard line. Especially with a new quarterback, you're going to see a very conservative approach here as it looks like Caden Snap will be our running back.
Mm-hmm. He's got a different look, different type of runner than Carter Caudell. They're standing at their own goal line, though. The Chiefs are in shotgun. It's a give to Snap, looking to run wide left. Still loose, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and cut down right by his own bench around the 31. That's what I talk about, different. He's more outside the tackles, and I would say a little faster.
Well, definitely a little faster. A heavier-footed runner. Carter's more of a pep step where Caden is a hard cut kind of guy, a one cut guy, but he does have a little wiggle with his hips. Sometimes the best thing on your minus 6-yard line is a nice little 25-yard first down run.
So exactly what it was, out to the Chiefs' 31-yard line. He went out of bounds, so there will be another play this quarter. 4 seconds to go in the third. The Chiefs in front 42-14. Here's a give to the running back again. I think it was Snap again. He got about 5, and that'll be the end of the third quarter, as the Chiefs are in front 42-14. We'll take a break here on Horvath Productions. The Chiefs lead Indian Lake 42-14. We'll go to the fourth quarter after this break from Easton Water Solutions.
Hey neighbor, you may be wondering, what makes a community bank special? At Middlefield Bank, it's our people who care about our neighbors and take pride in sharing banking expertise for every stage of life. Because when you're part of the MB community, your goals are our goals, and we're here to help you reach them, from checking and savings accounts to mortgages, loans, and lines of credit to digital banking tools. MB can be your everything bank. Experience the community bank difference with Middlefield Bank. Learn more at middlefieldbank.bank.
Introducing TGH Law, your local legal experts. With decades of experience, our dedicated team is here to guide you through your legal journey. We specialize in personal injury, family law, and business litigation, offering you tailored solutions and results that matter. At TGH Law, we are not just lawyers, we're your local leaders. Trust TGH Law for your legal needs. Call us today and let us fight for you.
Welcome back to Indian Lake High School as we begin the fourth quarter. Bellefontaine leading Indian Lake here on Week 5 action. CBC crossover play 42-14. 2nd and 5 for Rain St. Clair. And it's another give to his running back, Caden Snap, who's bursting forward. Got a little bit of a lead block by Jamison Clement. It's near the first down marker. I don't know that he got it, though, as I look across the way. It's right in front of us.
Moving the chains.
Well, okay, it's close. First down run, no.
The fan in me, and this isn't the coach in me talking, the fan in me says I'd like to see number 12 sling this thing a little bit. He obviously threw the ball fairly well in that one drive. That's a fairly small sample size. You're almost out of the point, if you're Jason Brown, of being able to throw the ball. You're probably still okay on this drive to do it. If you're going to get the kid a couple passes, it's probably in these next few plays.
Ball's loose, still loose. And just a problem on the center quarterback exchange. I'm not sure that St. Clair was expecting the ball. It looked like a pretty good snap.
I would have almost guessed it was a penalty on the Chiefs. It felt like there was still Chieftains moving. There was some sort of shifting happening. It felt like it happened as the ball was snapped.
No penalty, loss of 5. That was not a sharp-looking play. Chiefs in front,
And
42-14.
Rain will learn that you got to get your nose in there right away when that ball hits the ground.
Yeah.
You've got to throw your body at it and get it. He was lucky that it bounced after Indian Lake had a guy had a chance at it.
Running back now, different running back for the Chiefs, hitting the backfield.
Number 2, Spencer Stolley, I believe.
Yeah, it is. He's brought down for a loss. This has been a tough Bellefontaine drive.
Well, I talked about wanting to see a little bit of throws. I don't know that this is the situation, 3rd and a mile. You don't really want to put a freshman in that spot. This is probably a run and punt if you have to situation.
3rd and 18. Just about all coaches are called run, but I would ask, what about a middle screen?
Yeah, I don't know that the Chiefs have a middle screen in. Those are always tougher than they look. And I don't know if I'd want to do it with a freshman quarterback in his first game.
It's a give to the running back. Caudill bouncing out on the left side. And Caudill rolls forward. He's still well short of the first down around the 42, and the Chiefs will bring out their punt team for the first time tonight. Clock churning away, 9:40 to go in the game, and the Chiefs lead it 42-14. Davian St. Clair got injured right before half on an interception play, kind of a fluky interception where the ball was deflected. He has not been back. Looks like some kind of it's something with his leg. I don't know any more specifics about that. Alex Crable's got plenty of time to get this away and gets all the way a high punt. Indian Lake sends back 2. Ball takes an Indian Lake bounce, and the Chiefs will down it right around the 30. Brody Boy, the long snapper, there to touch it up, and Indian Lake will start at their own 29 with 9:02 to go in the football game, and the Chiefs up 42-14. Indian Lake taking a little break for their offensive huddle. Coming up at the postgame show, we'll have our Rick Reed player of the game. Chiefs trying to move to 4-1. Next week, Bellefontaine at London. That's always a big one in the CBC Kenton Trail. Indian Lake has homecoming next week with Graham coming into Indian Lake High.
Well, I would guess Indian Lake Graham Falcons will be just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, here's a give to the running back. Hit. Oh, good team defense. They squeezed it down for no gain.
Graham is a team that has mightily struggled on the season. They've scored coming into tonight, which they're playing London. I haven't seen a score update, but I'm going to assume not good. They had scored 21 points and given up somewhere in the realm of about 150.
I think last I saw was halftime 56-7 London.
Yeah. It'll be a good homecoming dance for the boys.
Lillard wants to pass, has pressure coming from the backside, throws. His receiver comes back to make the catch on the right side. Quest Clay's really magical with those feet.
He is so quick.
Yeah.
You see he goes from slow to fast in a hurry.
John Rapp told me they've not had any skill player like him at Indian Lake in John Rapp's 20 years. I would agree. Somebody called timeout here, maybe?
Officials timeout injury.
Oh, there is
it's like an Indian Lake player down.
Yeah, we're going to take a break as well. 8:25 to go in the game. The Chiefs lead Indian Lake 42-14 on HorvathProductions.tv.
This is Trey Daring at Eichholz Daring and Sanford Funeral Homes and Cremation Center. We are committed to providing professional, tailored funeral and cremation services at affordable pricing. We are part of a community, caring individuals, friends, and neighbors who consider it a privilege to serve you in your time of need. We are proud to be locally owned and operated. Our family serving your family since 1903.
Good luck to all area teams!
Brody Risinger, the player that was tended to, he will walk off the field under his own power. Again, a two-way player. He plays safety and receiver for Indian Lake.
You know, that you definitely don't want to see an injury to a guy like him. Indian Lake has a lot to play for as we move through these coming weeks. You know, we talked about Graham. That should definitely be a game that they'll be a heavy, heavy favorite. Benjamin Logan the week after that again. I think Indian Lake's favored in that game. That could be closer than it's been in years past. But Shawnee is kind of the team that you think is the favorite in the league. I'm just not sure that's the case.
Quest Clay is loose down the left side. And he gets a first down out of the Wildcat. They put him at quarterback. I thought one of the Bellefontaine defenders was getting his jersey pulled, but that time no flag.
We talked about that in the pregame, that I thought some of that Wildcat stuff would be good to them, getting him the ball and just running fast. But back to the league, Shawnee has struggled. They only beat Tecumseh 20-0, and Indian Lake pounded Tecumseh last week.
That's true.
So I would not hesitate to say that Indian Lake could be the favorite in the Mad River.
Throw back to the left side. Chiefs do a pretty good job. Tackle, I think, made by Spencer Stolley. Gain of 5 on the throwback pass by Lillard.
It's a really good job by Spencer Stolley. Those are the kind of plays. You got a guy on an island. I don't know who he was tackling there, but you miss that tackle, it could be trouble.
2nd and 5 at the Chieftain 45-yard line.
We saw North Union in the scrimmage, and there's no doubt Indian Lake is better than North Union, certainly on paper.
I think Indian Lake's favored to win the league is what I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they can win out.
2nd and 5. Chiefs on a blitz. Lillard throws down into coverage. It's incomplete.
He just didn't look like he was at full speed, and like he maybe didn't know he was going to get the ball until it was in the air, and then just wasn't able to turn it on well enough.
Stolley and coverage on Rising, or some of the Indian Lake fans wanted a flag, but there will be no such call.
Yeah, just good coverage. We've talked about Spencer Stolley playing some defense, and we've seen some Darius Hoggard, which I don't feel like we've seen Darius Hoggard much tonight. We've seen quite a bit of Braylon Newcomb, and I feel like it's in the Chiefs' best interest to try to keep Newcomb off of defense when they can.
Quest Clay in motion, no fake to give to him. Lillard trying to run. Hoffman giving pursuit, throw back across his body, caught by Burton, and Burton will be wrestled down by Patrick Stolley. And Brody Boy, first down, though, at the 28-yard line. Dangerous pass against your body.
No doubt. Late over the middle, a lot of guys will tell you. But when it works, you say, hey, he extended the play. And, again, it's tough to cover people. He had 6-7 seconds there. He had Johnny Hoffman in great pursuit, but not able to catch him.
Both these Lillards, Burke Lillard last year and Madden Lillard, they're just gamers.
Gym rats, they look like to me. 3 sport guys. Guys that understand. I bet they're good at whatever they do. I bet they're good golfers. I bet they're good at cornhole. They look like guys that are coordinated, that can handle the football. That's what I like in my quarterback.
Well, that's true. You always talk about trust. You can trust him.
Yeah.
2nd and 10.
And you trust them to drive the bus, trust their effort. Madden Lillard's done a good job, because this is not easy. These Bellefontaine kids are getting after him, and he's in harm's way, in literal harm's way. That hurts when he gets blindsided. He's shown some moxie.
Oh, yeah, 2nd and 10. No pass again. Pressure coming from Carson Seville. Throw into coverage, and it's picked off by Brody Boy. He picked it off about a yard deep in the end zone. That's a touchback. Textbook on how to play the ball in the air. Perfect play right there.
Great high point of the football. Brody Boy, he is very excited.
He's come on with his, he's always the guy you call the box player, the people that are up by the ball, the guys that want to tackle the running back, get up by the line of scrimmage. But he's gotten better to me considerably this year with playing the ball back towards.
Well, Brody Boy's a guy that, last year Quest Clay catches 8 balls for 200 yards against the Chiefs, and Brody Boy is in some of those clips. Quest Clay had a career night against the Chiefs. So Brody Boy, I'm sure, took that personally. He feels really good to get himself a pick here.
Yeah, one of his coaches, it might be Jason Brown across the way, giving him that a boy. And now it's new center because Brody Boy's over on the sidelines.
Well, you're seeing some of the Bellefontaine backups here.
Oh, high snap. St. Clair keeps it on the broken play and brought down. That is Rain St. Clair. Got to take care of him.
Yeah, that's the tough part. You bring in a new center, and I know, what you're doing. It's just anybody that stood on the sidelines with me as we'd get late in these games, and I know it would annoy Coach Brown, but I'd like to keep my center end to the bitter end just because I know those exchanges can be tough.
Well, shotgun spread offense. It's not like the old days where you get up under center. Loss of 5. This time they give it to the running back. Hit and brought down after a loss of 1. Clock continues to churn away.
Start to see some Indian Lake backups now coming in.
6 minutes to go in the game. The Chiefs lead at 42-14. Bellefontaine is going to move to 4-1. Indian Lake will have their 3-game winning streak snapped, and they'll fall to 3-2. Drew Brandeberry, who's one of the Chiefs' younger running backs.
Glad to see him back out there. He was dinged. Is this Crew Brandeberry?
I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think not sure he's going to play anymore this year. It's Caden
This is still
Snap.
Caden Snap.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think he was injured, Crew was. Here is Snap trying to run wide. Now looks to reverse field. He's got a block, and he's loose. 40,
He's gone.
45, 50. He may be gone. Inside the 50. They're not going to catch him. Caden Snap will take it 84 yards to the end zone. Wow, he reversed field. Didn't look like there was much when he got the ball, but he says, look out, here I go. Wow. Got a little wall-off block, not really the old peel-back blocks where you can really get somebody, but Patrick Stelly caused interference, and at that point, Snap was gone.
Well, Caden Snap deserves that. You know, he's been a guy that hasn't gotten a whole lot of carries in his career, and had he been in different situations on different teams, he might have been a feature back for some schools on the Chiefs schedule. But he's been behind Chris Fogan and now Carter Caudill, and it's nice to see him get a big run there late in the ball game.
Now a running clock situation. 4:50 to go in the game.
And the Chiefs are happy because they looked a little
Out of sorts.
Yeah, out of sorts is a very polite way to put it, and looked like maybe there was going to be a situation where Bellefontaine would have to punt in a tough situation. Instead, Caden Snap takes it. How many yards?
84.
84 yards to the house.
And what's interesting here to me is that you score and there's a break for the next kickoff, but the clock still goes.
And it shouldn't be. And now they have stopped it. So, yeah.
There we go.
The boys continue to struggle. Now we talked about what Indian Lake has coming up, and Bellefontaine. Now it is officially time where they can start looking ahead to the Week 6 showdown in London. Such an interesting matchup, and I really don't know what to expect because it was a tale of two games last year, where in Week 6, London just thoroughly dominates the Chiefs. I think 30-ish to 0, 36-0, I believe.
36-6.
36-6, and honestly, it could have been 60-0. London choked the ball, and I say that someone was on the sideline and culpable of that. They choked the ball the entire half, ran it down to like 1 second, and put the Chiefs in a spot of a lot of soul searching. And obviously we've talked about the run that we were able to go on after that, and the team that showed up in Week 12, how different that game went.
Reisinger caught it at the 2. Look at a return to his left. Got down by a host of Chiefs around the 23-yard line. Their kickoff coverage is really improved. Not that it was ever bad to start the year, but I'm not sure they can do a lot better. And they're kicking it away from Quest Clay.
But the biggest lesson that was learned in that Week 12 road playoff victory was that if you're going to beat London, you've got to stand toe-to-toe and smack them right back in the mouth. And this is a different season, so I can't sit here and say that, the Chief. I don't know what will happen. I know that the Chieftain defense, to me, feels like has taken steps forward since Bellbrook, and certainly that was a night where they weren't capable of stopping that power attack enough to win the ball game. It feels like they've improved a fair amount since then.
Yeah.
But some of that is always your opponent. And, people talk about improvements from week to week, and certainly improvements happen, but is it who you're playing? And then offensively, what kind of approach do you take? Carter Caudill has proven, I think he has 160, 170 yards tonight. He's proven very capable on the ground. But the Bellefontaine offensive line will be challenged in a different way than they have the last few weeks. And I'm really excited to see, how that all shakes out.
Next week's a huge game. Indian Lake running here. They understand the situation with the clock. It's a running clock, 3:30 to go in the football game. Chiefs lead it 49-14. But at the half, things looked, it looked like Bellefontaine was still probably favored, I guess you'd say, but they looked a little dicey.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely felt a little goofy, but the fact was, outside of about a 5-6 play window, the Chiefs had been dominant. And, but yeah, you never know what could happen, especially with the quarterback situation.
Yeah, Tavian St. Clair has not played since late in the second quarter.
Well, Fountain still got their varsity D-line in. Big Maddox Curtis is still rolling. Jordan Hensley still in.
But then some backup defensive back.
Backups in the in the back half.
And Carson Drake, 5-yard penalty on the Chiefs. We'll have the Rick Reed Player of the Game in the post-game show. I can't wait to hear this one this week. I'm going to give a little wink again for the offensive line of the Chiefs.
Well, they don't call it the Bill Tipple Player of the Game.
I know.
Great play there. And we don't have 69 on the roster.
Cale Klein.
You've told me that.
Yeah.
That was a very nice play by the first-year senior.
Chiefs up 49-14. And game clock down to 2:10, 49-14. The Chiefs lead it. Taylor wants to pass. Has pressure coming from Cale Klein. Gets away from that. Throws it off to one of his receivers, who then makes the catch.
Carter Caudill.
Brought down short of the first down. Yes, it was Carter Caudill on the tackle.
Playing this thing to the bitter end.
The receiver was Colin Bendler, who's a sophomore. 4th and 3. Chiefs with some backup ends. Carson Seville's in the game. 4th and about 2.
We talked about Carter Caudill being an Iron Man. He's got about 170 yards rushing. He's probably got double digits tackles. And here he comes again, making another one.
And Matt Lillard on 4th and 2 got the first down. That may be one of the final plays of the game. 1:20 to go in the game. The Chiefs in front, 49-14. First down run by Lillard. He got about 3.5, 4 yards. It's near midfield at the Indian Lake 49. The Chiefs in front, 49-14. The Chiefs have outscored Indian Lake this half, 21-0. And a flag thrown on the far side. Ball start on Indian Lake. And this is where it's kind of
well, we talked about that, yeah. And obviously it was the lake, but if you're in this situation, you keep committing a lot of penalties. You can milk a clock. Now in the NFL, they fixed that because I think it was Belichick or Vrabel did that, and then they said, well, once they deemed that it was on purpose, then they would stop it.
Vrabel did it to Belichick.
That's right.
He out Belichick. Yeah. The clock is ticking away. 25 seconds to go. There's a run on the right side, or the left side for about 6 yards, and that should do it. The runner that time was Noah Shirk, who's one of the linebackers. And that, they game clock down to 10. Indian Lake taking their time, and it looks like they'll just, maybe run another play. Game clock's down to 3, 2, 1, and a flag thrown on the far side. That'll do it. That'll just end the game. So now the teams will line up at the 50 and shake hands. The Chiefs win tonight here at Indian Lake, 49-14. Tavian St. Clair had some kind of we don't know exactly, but some kind of a leg injury. He was up moving around. And Rain St. Clair comes in, relief pitcher extraordinaire. And the Chiefs roll in the second half behind the freshman. And they beat Indian Lake tonight here at Indian Lake High School, 49-14, but it was just a 28-14 Chieftain lead at the half. Very impressive second half. And again, I will give credit to the Bellefontaine coaches. I think they've coached 3 really excellent games in a row after a tough setback to Bellbrook.
Yeah, no, I was really impressed with their plan in the second half. They did a good job of calling a conservative ground game for Rain St. Clair to make him comfortable. They picked a few spots where they put the ball in the air. Rain did a great job of driving the bus. Definitely concerned to hear, the status of Tavian St. Clair, but nice to see Rain St. Clair come in and get some Friday night action.
49-14 our score. We'll keep our post-game show right here on Horvath Productions. Michael Horvath, our producer-director, camera crew, Trevor Woods from WVCS, and Kyle Carper, who's a Bellefontaine alum. The Chiefs win it 49-14. They've now won 3 straight in the series. The last Indian Lake win was in 2021. But tonight it was the Chiefs. It was their defense, it was their ability to run the football, and it was their ability to control the line of scrimmage, and also their I guess this might be a player of the game. We're going to find out in a minute, but they're really factoring in heavily Jacob Salyer. He had a career night, 3 touchdowns.
Well, no doubt, and he is the player of the game, and I don't think there's much argument against him. He had 8 catches, 157 yards, and 3 touchdowns with an interception on defense. I think that stat line speaks for itself. We've talked week in and week out about how Bellefontaine, to win tough games against the Londons or people in the playoffs, will have to find secondary passing attack weapons other than Braylon Newcomb. Jacob Salyer saw one-on-one coverage all night as Indian Lake was trying to take away Braylon Newcomb. He did his job, simple hitch routes, simple go routes, and was able to have a career night.
And really, Braylon Newcomb, he still had a fine game, but he didn't have the kind of game he's been having. So Indian Lake, and I'm sure this was on purpose, they tried to do their best to take him away. He still had a big impact because
and it's the right decision.
Yeah.
No doubt. That's exactly what you do. If you're John Rapp, you say, I'm not going to let the kid that I know has beat everyone beat us. I'm going to make someone else do it, and you hope that Jacob Salyer drops the football. And he didn't drop the football, and that's why he's player of the game.
You have a few stats, and I want to ask you some thoughts on the game, and then look ahead to London. But Jacob Salyer, the senior, a two-way player who hasn't played since 9th grade, he's something. He had not done a lot offensively before this game. Not bad. He was playing okay. Defensively, I think, is where he kind of showed more the first 4 games. But then he was a big winner tonight for the Chiefs. They win at 49-14. Salyer's some kind of player, though. I mean, I think you're a very good talent evaluator. What do you see in his game?
He's just an athlete, and he's away from the sport for 2 years, but he's a good basketball player. And, I've said before, wide receiver is the one position I think you can take some time away. If you can shoot a basketball, run around, rebound a basketball, I can trust you to play wide receiver. And, it's not complicated. Run the ball, run to the football, catch it, and let Tavian St. Clair do the rest.
Yeah. Chiefs win at 49-14. St. Clair was able to walk around when the game ended. He's still not walking great, but he's walking under his own power. Tavian St. Clair, that is. He did not play any in the second half, and he went out late in the first half, so that's obviously a headliner, not just here, but all over the country. Rick talks about the world of social media today. The Chiefs, so statistically, dominated the game. I guess if there's any good news for Indian Lake, even though they lost, and we talked about this right even before the opening kick, they just play with such spirit in this game. They really want this game very badly, and they did not give up when it was 28-0.
No, and that's typical of a John Rapp football team or a Dave Coburn football team in the past, which John Rapp was a big part of his staff for a couple decades almost. Now, it wasn't the kind of Indian Lake effort early in the game that you typically see, but I think a lot of that's really just the talent that Bellefontaine has. And I think, Coach Rapp would probably tell you that he knew that there's just not a whole lot you can do sometimes when you've got kids like Tavian St. Clair, Braylon Newcomb, and even, Jacob Salyer and Carter Caudill tonight, and a Chieftain offensive line who we have to keep talking about. They definitely appear to have taken big steps forward to getting better. Now, the way this game works is they'll be tested more than they have all year, maybe with the exception of Bellbrook, but we'll find out next week. Is the improvement against the really good competition, or is it just maybe some of these crossover out-of-league games?
Well, probably, I guess the safest answer is probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You would know better than me, but I will say this. They have gotten – this is what makes sports so interesting. You can't predict it. It's unscripted stuff that happens. From what I saw in week 2 against Bellbrook, and I think Bellbrook was really good, especially defensively, I did not see Bellefontaine's line making this much of a stride 3 weeks later. I guess that's one of my last things I want to ask you. In 3 weeks' time, I think they've gotten significantly better.
Absolutely. You can't block London until you can block Ben Logan and Indian Lake. And I don't mean that disparaging towards Ben Logan and the Lake. It's just you're not going to be able to block really good playoff type caliber teams until you can block the teams on your schedule that aren't that. And they have been winning football the last 3 weeks. Westerville, Central, Ben Logan, and Indian Lake. I would give the Bellefontaine offensive line the winning grade over the opponent's defensive line. So they're 3-0 the last 3 weeks. Well, you can't beat London until you beat those 3.
Well, and the other thing they did tonight, now it was 28-14 at the half. There was no Tavian St. Clair for the rest of the night. You knew that. You heard that, from maybe somebody else here in the press box. And Indian Lake, I think, kind of assumed that as well. So they changed their defense. They put more guys up on the line, more guys in the box. They want to make Bellefontaine have to run the football. And try to run the football anyways, and Bellefontaine still ran the football. The way they ran the football in the second half, very impressive to me.
Yeah, you're right. Indian Lake went from an odd front every snap in the first half to an even front every snap in the second half. And that is a big challenge. And a lot of people, if you haven't played the offensive line or been around it, you don't really know what I'm talking about. But all your run fits change. So now instead of a guy head up on your center, the guy's head up on your guard or shaded on your guard. And instead of guard and center combos, now you're tackle and guard combos. And what I saw to the naked eye, Bellefontaine did a good job of making their line calls, fitting their run game, and giving their kids plenty of opportunities.
Last thing, Rick, what Bellefontaine will look to work on here the next few days before they go to London. I know that one of the big headlines is what's going on with Tavian St. Clair. He did not play after the half, but just, even if they have him or don't have him, things are going to really work on the next week.
Well, yeah, like you said, got to get him healthy. It's some of it's a mental thing too. Part of the recipe for the loss to London and then the win to London was an approach thing. So you got to spend the next 7 days building to game time. So you've got now, 7 full nights to get ready for a war. We don't, obviously that's a little bit hyperbole, but London will challenge you physically in a way that the last few weeks haven't. And your kids have to believe, and when the going gets tough and things are going to be painful, things aren't going to go well, you've got to keep swinging, and you just got to do what you're supposed to do without doing too much.
Rick, have a great weekend.
All right, Tips.
Chiefs winner tonight at Indian Lake, 49-14. Range St. Clair leads them in the second half. The Chiefs outscore Indian Lake in the second half 21-0. And Bellefontaine with a big performance tonight from several key players. The Rick Reed player of the game was senior wide receiver Jacob Salyer. Had 3 touchdown catches, also made an interception. Indian Lake falls to 3-2. They're home next Friday. Graham is in town for homecoming. The Chiefs head to London in week 6. We'll have it on Horvath Productions. And the Chiefs move to 4-1. For Rick Reed, Michael Horvath, and the whole rest of the crew, I'm Bill Tipple saying have a good night.